Welcome to the podcast that passes poor performance on pop culture. I'm your host, Darren Duncan, along with my best friend, Audie Marsh. We're not here to hurt your feelings. We're just here to entertain. And at the end of it all, whether you agree or disagree, don't blame us. You know what that is? Big hand, round of applause.
Look how little my hand looks on the screen.
You got to put it up real close.
It's all about the angle, isn't it?
I don't know. I never really looked at my hands that much.
Just listen. It sounds so provocative.
You ever done the thing to people where you're like, hey, dude, if your hand's bigger than your face, that means you're retarded. And then they put their hand to their face and you're like, wham! You slap their fucking hand.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I've
you
done
were
that.
retarded. You fell for it. Dum-dum.
Mer.
So what's going on, man? I totally forgot the topic today. What were we doing?
So we are doing, well, you mentioned it when we were coming up with the ideas. God's junk drawer.
Oh, Florida.
Oh, yeah, that sparks it right there.
The cock of the USA.
Where's the balls? It doesn't need any.
The balls are the panhandle, I think. Like there's there's like one ball just kind of chilling in the Gulf of Mexico, just floating in the bath salts of the Gulf of Mexico.
I call Florida the free state. Like the governor is like the shit. No, like I don't pay state taxes. It's great, man. I think taxes was like 7%. Yeah.
In Florida?
Yeah.
That's crazy because California is like super expensive taxes. And my buddy Bill, the singer of Green Jello, he calls it sunshine tax. You'd think Florida would be expensive too. I don't know.
Well, I think Florida gets away with it because
it sucks living there. Because it's so muggy. Everybody's wet, dude.
Oh, I burped.
Fired. Everybody's wet in Florida, man. Like the heat just sticks to you. I've never been there. I'm just assuming.
You got it all wrong.
All right. What was it like growing up there, first of all? What was it like? You were born and raised there, yes?
Yeah.
Okay.
Florida is like, and I don't want to be like that guy and be like, because I'm from there, it's the greatest state ever. But being in the Army and then going and living in all these other states, nothing compares to Florida. As an adult, taxes and the cost of living, people think Florida, the cost of living is so expensive, but it's really not. Because I tell you, the most expensive state I've been to is Louisiana.
I thought for sure you were going to say Illinois.
Well,
you haven't lived in Illinois, though, huh?
Well, I don't live there. Rockford was enough for me. I've been... Roads in Iraq were better than the roads in Rockford.
It's true.
Like, you're a straight-up gangster if you've lived in Rockford. Like, if you lived in Rockford, you could survive in Afghanistan.
Right.
No doubt. I'm trying to get the rest of this...
Rockganistan, they call it, I guess.
I'm trying to get the rest of this stuff up, man. I got everything, computers and stuff going right now. I'm just trying to get everything...
So you're saying, like, as an adult living in all these other states, Louisiana tax-wise was the worst? Were you living on base in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, but like the area, like it was a parish tax and there was a state tax. Like at the end of the day, I'd go to Walmart and I was paying like 14% in taxes between the two.
Fuck that.
Yeah, you looked at the receipt at Walmart, it's like state tax, and then it says parish tax.
What the fuck is a parish tax?
It's well, parishes in Louisiana is like counties in Florida. I don't know what they have in Rockford, Cherry. I don't know what y'all call them counties up there?
Yeah, for sure. No, there's counties, motherfucker. Rockford's in Winnebago County. But I'm trying to look up a parish tax. It was like the town was called parish.
Well, it's like the county. It's like what the town is in.
Man, I've never seen that on a receipt in my motherfucking life.
Yeah, man.
Rockford tax or Winnebago tax. I ain't never seen that shit. Man,
yeah, I don't.
Fuck Louisiana. You know what's fucked up? One of our topics tonight is the Gainesville Ripper, who killed most of his people in Florida, but he started killing in Louisiana, and that might have been because of the taxes.
I don't blame him.
It's probably because his dad was a piece of shit and beat the fuck out of him, but you know.
This Facebook user, Florida has the best governor, no doubt.
For real? So how come?
Well, not to get into any politics.
You know, with or without. Try to explain.
So with the, I don't even know if I should say this word. I feel like we get monetized.
What, Republican?
COVID.
Oh, COVID.
Yeah. He didn't shut down. He didn't shut down for COVID.
Okay.
You know, with
brave
this whole,
man.
Ballsy
man.
Yeah, firing police officers and healthcare workers. He welcomed them in from other states.
Wow,
he's like,
that's fucking cool.
Like, if you got the shot or not, you can work here in Florida. And the whole mask thing, and you know, being that it's a red state, they were deeming it like, oh, you know, it's the highest COVID whatever. But then it's like, is it really? Because CDC can't even tell us what the real numbers is. You know, like, how you gonna bash on Florida like that? Like the dick of the United States. You know,
right? The throbbing cock of the world.
You know,
big triumphant bastard,
big old monster. I love Florida. So anyway, what did you say? The Gainesville Ripper, right?
Yeah, but I was more interested in what it was like growing up as a kid in Florida, because
check it out.
This is before politics and serial killers and things like that. But I do want to hear what it was like. Like, did you hear about any of this shit on the news? Do you remember hearing about Eileen Warren, Gainesville Ripper, or White House Boys, or anything like that?
So, from what I remember as a kid, a lot of the big events was the O.J. Simpson trial, the Casey Anthony, which I wasn't really a kid. I think it was like 2009.
O.J. though, that wasn't Florida.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it was Florida.
Motherfucker, O.J. killed fucking Nicole Brown and Ron Goldman in fucking L.A., dude.
Hang on. Maybe it was just broadcasted in
L.A.,
Florida.
dog.
Was it?
Yeah. I was in second grade when that shit happened, and it was like that and the Oklahoma City bombing were like the two biggest things I remember as a kid. But this has nothing to do with the fucking throbbing cock of the world, Florida.
Oh, right.
God's drunk drawer.
He played golf in Florida.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Maybe
a lot
that's
of people
where I'm getting confused. No.
This fucking guy. Are you fucking kidding me?
He played golf.
Fucking OJ, man. OJ was fucking...
Man, I could have sworn it was Florida.
Hell no.
Maybe I'm just getting
Maybe he went college there or something. Or you're just mixing it up because of the fact it's one of the biggest news stories you remember as a child, you know. But my main concern is like the ones you remember that happened in Florida, growing up in Florida, like local news. Like, did any of that shit cross your radar as a kid, or were you too busy playing with G.I. Joes and shit?
It did. I remember a lot of the Bobby Kent murder. That was really big. That was around Miami. They actually made a movie about it called Bully.
Yeah.
We'll get on that topic. I remember that. I remember the Casey Anthony, which is bullshit. The weird
that
thing
bitch did that shit, dog.
Oh yeah, that bitch did that shit.
Don't blame us. Is gonna go out here on the record right now and say that bitch did that shit.
Oh yeah, she did that shit. Stupid
fucking
bitch.
cunt.
Hey, you know what? I know we're kind of off subject because we kind of got like a script, kind of.
If that's what you want to call it.
So when that was happening, I sent her a friend's request on Facebook.
No way,
dude, and it went through, and like it was pending request. So like. Let me see if I can find it.
That's ridiculous.
Dude, I sent her a message. I was like,
was this a Florida case?
Yes. Casey, I think it was. I mean, I'm sitting here calling O.J. Simpson a fucking...
Yeah, who knows? This shit could have happened in fucking Indiana for all we know. But I do believe, though, you know what? It wasn't Florida because...
Yeah, it was.
she claimed to work at like Disneyland or whatever, and then she took a bunch of detectives down there and was like, "See, I work here," and started walking through the hallways and saying hi to people. And then
Yeah.
she hit a dead end of the hallway, and she's like, and they're like, "Bitch, you don't work here," you know.
No, it did happen in Florida. I was just
One of the biggest things that bummed me out about that, like, I mean, let's fucking be real here. A child was murdered by her own mother and tossed away like a piece of garbage in a shallow grave, like right behind her house. But one of the
mhm.
most fucked up things to me, dog, was that she had like little heart and Minnie Mouse stickers on her face, like over the fucking tape that was on her mouth. Like when they found her fucking dead body, she had this tape on her mouth, but she had little stickers. And it's like I could see mommy being like, okay, we're gonna tape you up and put tape on your mouth. We're gonna, and then the daughter's like, no, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. This is stupid. Why are you doing this? And she's like, no, it's okay. Putting little Minnie Mouse stickers on her fucking face to try to like make her be like, it's okay. This is normal.
Yeah.
And
No,
then the
dude.
fucking bitch left the body in the trunk for a few days, but then when she got rid of the body, I hate using that word for a child, but it's
It is
true.
what
it,
it
it
is, man.
happened. It's just
Yeah.
terminology we're gonna have to use talking about true crime. But another thing she did was take a bunch of like pizzas and food from a dumpster and threw it in her trunk to try to cover the smell. So like when they caught this bitch's car, like in the impound or whatever, and they opened the trunk, like the source of the smell was a bunch of rotten pizza.
Yeah.
But it's like, bitch, you had your fucking daughter in that fucking trunk.
Yeah, it's terrible. So they didn't have a
Dude,
solid case when they found the body in the woods. I remember it saying like when they found the duct tape, it still had like somewhat of Kaylee, which is weird, which is my daughter's name. Kaylee Anthony, like the tape still had like fragments of like her flesh and maybe
absolutely.
maybe some of her teeth. And it just wasn't enough, I guess, because the body was skeletal remains, like the animals had taken it off. It wasn't really enough to
Right.
solidify or solid hammer her, which I love Florida to death, but like, man, you
I
could
think she
almost get away with anything.
I
The
think she
justice
got off
system
because she was
sucks.
young and cute, dude. That's what it boils down to, in my opinion. I
Pretty
think she
much. And
got
she
off
was
because she
probably
was young and
banging
cute.
she was yeah, she was probably banging somebody in the department too.
The fucking bitch. All right, so there was this thing called Zanny the nanny, and apparently she had a babysitter who was this like immigrant Mexican woman, and her name was Zanny. And that's who she referred to, like, oh, my daughter's with Zanny the nanny. Everybody's like, where's your
Yeah.
kid at? With Zanny the nanny. Fucking the bitch was constantly high on Xanax, and the street term for Xanax is Zanny. So I think that was like a fucking just some stupid thing she would say as an inside joke. Like she'd pump her kid full of fucking Xanax to be asleep so she could go fucking party. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? Oh, who's watching your kid? Zanny the nanny. They fucking give her Xanax, man. I know motherfuckers, not now, but back in the day, I knew pieces of shit who were smoking meth and they would like pump their kids full of Robitussin to go to bed. And like I met these people in the program when they were sober and shit like that. It's not like I was hanging out with these people, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like when I worked at Sprint, my manager was telling me stories about when he would smoke meth, he'd fucking pump his kid full of Robitussin DM and put him to bed so him and his wife can smoke meth all night. So that's kind of what this Casey Anthony bitch did. But it makes me wonder if this is what happened. Maybe she gave her too much Xanax at one point. The child died. And then
Mhm.
she did the whole fucking tape thing to make it look like she was abducted because she wasn't sure what she was going to do. And then, maybe the sticker thing was a moment of endearment, like, oh my God, my baby, I'm going to put stickers on her. I love you. And then got rid of her, the body.
Yeah.
So that's like one scenario that could have happened that I kind of think might have happened. Because I don't think they just put tape on her and fucking killed her and suffocated her. I
Well,
bet she fucking OD'd on Xanax, man.
well, that's what was said, but I agree with you. They the tape was over her mouth and nose, and that's what did her in, But I agree with you there. It makes perfect sense. She OD'd the child, and it could we say it was an accident? Like, is that even a term I could use in this situation? I mean, I'd even hate to say that, but like, you know what I mean?
Right.
Like, did she drug the child? Did the kid, not wake up and then she put tape over its face and nose and then made it look like someone murdered and
Oh,
kind of like
after the fact. Yeah,
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 like
absolutely.
she figured, John Bonet, Ramsey, they got away with it, why not?
Oh man, that's another thing we talk about, but that's not a Florida case, but
Yeah.
I kind of think the little brother did that one.
I don't know. I think the dad had something to do with it. I think the
Do
dad
you?
was sex trafficking.
Man, I don't know. I think the brother did it,
You think so?
but
I don't
yeah,
know. The
because
the parents knew. Somebody in that fucking house knew. You know what I mean?
100%, I believe that. I'm looking up toxicology report right now on Kaylee Anthony, and it just says the official autopsy and forensic reports released indicate there were no drugs found in the 2-year-old's system at the time of her death. But see, I don't know, man. This is crazy because my sister died of a heroin overdose, but they didn't find heroin in her system. They found
Yeah.
fentanyl in her system. So I don't know. I don't
Yeah, I don't
know.
know.
And you know what? What sucks is no one's gonna know
And the
until we get
bitch
a
is walking
deathbed
free.
confession.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She's
dude, and
walking
she's
free.
fucking. I'm surprised she's not an Instagram star or something, but she is like living her best life up in this dope ass house, and she's fucking her attorney, right? Isn't she with her
And
attorney? Like,
I don't
I don't know if they're married or whatever, but I'm pretty sure
I
they're
think
like
there was some
dating.
pictures of them at the club afterwards or something like that. There was so much floating around. It's like I just feel like she had an insider and that's how she got off on it. Like
You think so?
somewhere yeah, somewhere in that trial I think she was banging one of them and
Probably.
I mean, how do you not and I get it, the evidence didn't whatever, but it's so obvious like it
The
was
fuck
her
if it did it,
car.
man? I don't know.
Yeah, it's like
But it's got to be beyond a reasonable doubt, they say. But it's like to me, man. I think she fucking the rest of the world thinks that she did it.
oh yeah.
But those 12 assholes and the fucking box didn't think so. Like, but you know what happens a lot is when these fucking jurors go back. Like sometimes it takes fucking dates for them to make a decision, and a
Yeah.
lot of it boils down to like one person being like, "No, he's not guilty." Like with the OJ thing, they specifically not trying to bring race into this shit, but like Johnny Cochran was a smart fucking man. And back in that time, they knew there was race wars going on. And like the majority of the jury were black people, if I'm not mistaken. And OJ's a fucking god, you know what I'm saying, amongst
Yeah.
men.
Juice.
Yeah, dude. And there was like one white lady when it came down, like the one white woman juror was like, I think he fucking did that shit. And they're like, are you fucking serious? Fuck you, blah, blah, blah. It was a big fucking deal. And they're all fighting about it. And eventually, after fucking days or hours or whatever, that white woman was like, fine, he's fucking guilty, just so they can come to a term of an agreement, you know? But this is all I know from watching movies and shit, man. I wasn't there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, what do I fucking know? I'm just some jerk off in a Scream hoodie in a basement talking to your fucking ass.
I mean, I think that's pretty cool, but
I know. I'm
whatever.
pretty fucking stoked about it.
I mean, anybody else that don't think it's cool, y'all can kiss our
Eat a
asses.
dick.
You can eat a Florida.
Yeah, the whole fucking goddamn thing. See that little X in your top right corner? Click it with your middle finger. But if you don't click it with your middle finger, then I'll be offended, motherfucker.
So we'll say we'll come to agreement and say the Casey Anthony case, the bitch did the shit, no doubt,
Bitch done did it.
no doubt.
Put that on
All right.
record. Don't blame us. Official.
Yeah, don't blame us. The bitch did it. So let's move
Yep.
on. You
Let's
wanna go
move
to the-
on, Daddy-O.
Let's do it. We'll say
Let's talk
let's
about
get
the
back to
Gainesville Ripper a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's go back to the Gainesville Ripper.
All right, so let's both agree and put it out there in the world that don't blame us. Do not condone murder.
No.
Serial killers are not to be glorified. But there is one good thing to come out of the Gainesville Ripper. And it's the
Florida?
greatest horror movie of all time, baby.
You know what?
You can't do a podcast with me without having Scream come up, dog.
Scream.
Scream.
Okay. We'll
The way
let
you
it
fucking
slide.
said it was hilarious.
Scream. So
you were so disappointed. You were like,
I was.
I knew this shit was going to come up. This
This is the only
motherfucker.
reason why he wanted to do this.
Straight up. So fucking, all right, check it out. Kevin Williamson. I'll do the Scream thing real briefly, all right?
No, this
let
is
me
your
have
moment.
this.
I'm going to let you have it. This is your moment. Please enlighten us on this movie called The Scream.
All right. So, Kevin Williamson was house sitting for a friend in Florida, and he kept hearing bumps in the night and things that made him creeped out, and he was getting scared. And he was watching the news or a documentary, one or the other. Something on the television was about Danny Rowling, the Gainesville Ripper. So we got all spookified, and he called his fucking homeboy, and he's like, dude, I'm fucking watching so-and-so's house. I'm super scared. Audie's favorite horror movie is Terrifier. Oh! That tell him to contribute to our fucking Patreon for that. $5 a month. And it doesn't even have to be Ryan Merriman. Just put it as Art the Clown, and we'll fucking love the shit out of it. So Kevin Williamson called his homeboy, and they basically had this conversation, like, because he was scared as fuck. Like, dude, what if somebody comes in my house? It's that easy, and I'll tell you how easy it is that this asshole committed these murders. But the conversation started with, what's your favorite scary movie? And that's how it started. It was all on the phone, and then he immediately, after that phone call, started writing the script for the greatest horror movie of all time. Scream. It was Kevin Williamson wrote it, but then it was handed down by God herself to the Caucasians in Hollywood from Mount Caucasus. And none of what I just said is true. But the fucking, all right, so Danny Rowling, aka the Gainesville Ripper, was a total scumbag piece of shit. He killed 5 students. 4 of them, it's weird. Most serial killers have like this trend, right? Only chicks, only dudes, only old ladies, whatever. There's a rarity when, like Gacy, for example, only killed teenage boys. Bundy killed brunettes with a part down the middle. Richard Ramirez was random as fuck, but this dude, Danny Rowling, he kind of had a type that he liked. They were brown hair, brown-eyed women, but there's one man, and the only reason why the man was involved was because he didn't expect them to be there. Ryan also says Audie Marsh Productions knows I respect him, and he's good shit with me, just messing. Oh, well, now instead of $5, we're gonna have to ask for 11. No, well, we appreciate you, Ryan, for watching, man. Nobody busts Audie's balls more than me. Like,
yeah,
nobody.
I cover up so much of it. I even cry at night.
He has Band-Aids on the front and back of his ball sack.
Yeah,
from my verbal abuse.
I barely even have any balls left. That's how much he's taking it from me.
They're decaying, and that's why he bought the fucking deodorizer today.
Oh, it stinks nice and good.
So this dude typically killed brown hair, brown-eyed women, but there was one dude, and he didn't expect him to be there. So basically what this cocksucker would do, it makes me wonder if he would stalk these women, because was it a coincidence that they all had brown hair, brown eyes? I don't know. Right. Was it a coincidence that they were all students? That's kind of strange too. But he would just break into their house super easy. For example, like 2 of the fucking 5 times was a sliding glass door, and he'd use a crowbar and bust it open. And it's like, man, you would think, I'm not trying to victim blame whatsoever, but it just makes you realize how easy it is to get killed in your own fucking house. Some jerk off with a crowbar breaking out your sliding glass door. Don't you think you'd fucking hear it? Or,
right.
I mean, my dogs would definitely hear it, and like this is America. We all got guns. You want to defend yourselves, but it's like, it's crazy to think about how easy it is to get killed in your own home. But again, this is the 90s. We didn't have security cameras. Pit bulls were shamed on, so maybe not everybody lived that style. But the first time, he basically he snuck into the house. He saw this girl. They were 17 years old, bro, and they were roommates college kids, and she was sleeping on the couch, and he just kind of stood over her and just decided to go upstairs and found the other girl in the upstairs room, fucking taped her mouth, taped her hands behind her back, cut her clothes off, face down on the floor, did some shit, stabbed her in the back 5 times, went downstairs, basically did the same exact fucking thing. Now, the next fucking day, he broke into another apartment with 2 girls that lived in it and did basically the exact same goddamn thing. No, actually, I'm wrong. He broke in and the chick wasn't there. He broke into her house. She wasn't there, so he chilled in her living room until 11 a.m. And that's when he came in, or she came in. He surprised her from behind, choked her out, taped her up, took her upstairs, did some fucked up things, and he left. And all of his victims, he would pose in like sexual ways, and he would even like set the mirrors up so when you walked into the room, you would see like the fucked up angle. And
so he left them dead. Like he would do stuff to them and then
rape. Yeah, he'd rape them. I don't want to fucking get all crazy and have people not listen.
I don't want to go into detail with that, but I'm saying he would do that R word, because I don't know if we get monetized for that, but the R word to them and then leave them dead or just leave them there.
No,
like
he would pose them. He'd like put legs up. Dead bodies, yeah. After they're dead.
So he did that.
He would pose them all sexual, like legs open, maybe puts a hand down there or something.
Like some necrophiliac, or is it?
Absolutely. In fact, he was diagnosed with paraphilia. Paraphilia is basically when you're addicted to sex, but in a very weird way, like abusive way. Like, but he was also diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and there was something else. I got it in my notes, but it's not really important because fuck him, right? But yeah, he would pose them. But here's the fucked up thing: like his second victim broke in, wasn't there, waited, showed up at 11 in the morning, killed her, dipped out. Right?
Yeah.
The motherfucker was living at a campsite, and it was pretty close to the campus. And he gets back to his campsite and realizes he don't have his fucking wallet. Fuck! I think I left my wallet at that bitch's house. Went back to the fucking house, looked for his wallet. I don't know if he found it or not, but that's the reason why he went back. And then and there, he decided to decapitate her and set her head on the fucking shelf, facing the body, and set up the mirror so when whoever walked into the room would fucking see them both. He set up mirrors so you could fucking, like a horror movie with multiple camera angles, bro. That's what he fucking did. Sick fuck, right?
Ugh.
So, and this is from your state, by the way.
I know.
No, I'm just
like,
kidding.
I don't know whether or not to be like, yeah, or like, ugh.
No, he's originally from fucking Louisiana. I can't read my handwriting, but
that explains it all.
His dad was a cop and a total piece of shit, beat the fuck out of him and his brother. In fact, his dad even beat his dog to death. And then as the dog was taking its last breath, like made his son hold it. Hold your fucking dog. He pissed on the floor. This is why he fucking died. You fucking hold. I gave him his dying dog. And like, I don't know. Like I've seen some fucked up things and some fucked up things happen to me, but I don't go killing people. I'm not trying to fucking blame this, but the guy had a fucked up childhood. His dad would make his mom cut herself with a razor blade and make his kids watch. Like, cut your fucking wrist, bitch, and like make her fucking do it. But she obviously wouldn't go deep enough. But she tried leaving him several times and ended up coming back and stuff. But yeah, he was a cop in fucking Louisiana. And in fact, he tried killing his dad, got into a real bad fight, attempted murder. He got charged with attempted murder, but he ended up walking from it. But in the fight, his dad lost his eye and his ear.
I might as well
Could you imagine getting into a fist fight with your dad and taking his fucking eye and ear off his fucking skull?
Psycho, man.
Totally. So we're gonna wrap this fucker up here pretty quick. He basically ended up the last victim ended up, there was a man involved, and that was an accident because he broke into this house. He went upstairs and there was a dude. And he's like, oh, fuck, I got to kill this dude to get to the girl. So there was a big struggle involved. He ended up killing the guy. And then the girl roommate was like, "What the fuck's going on?" Came out into the hallway, ran into Danny Rowling, aka the Gainesville Ripper, and then she ran into her bedroom, barricaded herself. He kicked the door in, did his typical thing, killed her the same way. For some reason, he loved the tape, mouth, hands behind the back, and stab in the back 5 times. That was his big thing. There was another killing that this family. All right, so what happened? So this all happened in Gainesville, Florida. Before that, and about fucking 5 years before that, or some shit, in Louisiana, there was this family that got murdered. It was like this guy in his 50s was living with his daughter in her 20s, and then like her 8-year-old son was all living there preparing dinner. Gainesville Ripper came in, fucking killed them all in the same fashion, tape. Another thing he would do was clean the bodies with vinegar. And this is like pre-DNA shit. Like the only way they tied up the Gainesville Ripper with these 2 killings is the fact that they knew that the perpetrator had type B blood. This is pre-DNA, right? So like, why was he cleaning off the bodies with vinegar? That's pretty fucking weird to me. But so anyway, there was a bunch of bank robberies and grocery store robberies going on, but eventually somebody from Louisiana called Florida and was like, "Hey, I think that these crimes are similar." So they sent the investigator from Florida down in Louisiana to check it out. And by the time that guy got back to Florida, this chick called Crime Stoppers and was like, "Yo, I know this fucking dude. I met him at church. His name's Danny Rowling. He comes to my house every fucking day and he's super weird. In fact, my husband kicked him out of the house because the guy kept going on and on about how he has a problem about sticking knives into people." So they were like, "Yeah, dude." So they were like, "All right, what?"
You think that's a problem?
A little bit, you know.
I like to stab people.
Yeah, but his terminology was like sticking knives into people. He didn't say stabbing or killing. He was like, "I love sticking knives into people." So the husband was like, "You got to go, dude. You can't come here no more." So the wife called Crime Stoppers. And then they kind of just put 2 and 2 together. When they tried to go find Danny Rowling, he was already in jail for a fucking grocery store robbery. And like all this shit happened over a matter of like 5 days, dude. It was like most of your serial killers have berserker period where they'll like kill one a month, one every 6 months, one a year, but then they go into berserker mode, like Ted Bundy, another Florida boy. They go into berserker mode, like Ted Bundy went into this fucking college and killed like fucking 5 chicks at a time, you know? Yeah. And that's berserker mode. Like this dude did berserker mode in a matter of like 5 days. And then that he got busted. But I think I pretty much summed it all up sort of kind of a little bit.
So let me add something to this.
Yeah.
What you just told me was way better than the Scream movie.
Fuck you. In the mouth with Florida. The whole coast. You're such a prick. All right, so speaking of that, how it's so fucking much more amazing than Scream, I added a couple more notes for you, little fucker. All right, so I'll get to him real quick. So he pled guilty to all the charges. He went to trial 4 years later. He was diagnosed with antisocial disorder, borderline personality disorder, paraphilia. Before execution, he claimed he did the murders in Louisiana. This always interests me. Let's talk about this just for one brief moment. His last meal, what do you think a Florida boy's last meal would be?
I'm going to say oranges, steak, and shrimp.
Lobster tail. You were close. Shrimp.
Close. There's always seafood, you know?
Right. Yours would probably be oysters and crackers.
Oh, absolutely.
100%.
100%.
He didn't have any final words, but he did sing a gospel hymn. And it's like, fuck you. You don't get to do that. You can't kill all these people and be a cocksucker your whole life and then be like, "Oh, I'm going to sing a song about God before I die." Fuck you. Like, now you're good. But the victim's relatives witnessed the execution. How do you feel about that? Would you want to witness if somebody killed somebody in your fucking family? Would you want to be there and watch them die?
Absolutely. I've always said this. If someone killed one of my family members, I would hope the jail, prison system, or in the midst of their trial, they protect this guy because I would want to kill them myself.
100%.
You know what I mean? Real quick, like I think it was in the 70s or 80s, the Karate Kid's instructor molested the dude.
I told you my dad knew that guy. I've
Yeah,
talked to you
he
about
was at the
this.
payphone and
He
like
pretended to be on a payphone, and when he
and just
walked
like
through, he turned around
boom.
and baka-cha.
Yeah, that's what I
The
would
dude
do.
got 2 years probation. That's
Good,
it for that.
good. I wouldn't have gave
Point
him
blank
2
range
years.
murder,
Yep,
first degree murder in a fucking airport in front of
yep,
hundreds of witnesses. 2 years probation, bro.
yep. He did the court a fucking favor. Like
Right. He
saved
saved
all
the
kinds
state a lot of money.
Yeah,
Did we just say that at the same time?
yeah.
See? See? That's fucking
Did we
funny.
just become best friends?
Right? You want to go play karate on a podcast? So
You
my
wanna-
homeboy
you
Brent
wanna go,
says that
What?
what?
What do you say?
My homeboy Brent said that the fucking thing won't play.
What on his Facebook or my or
I don't know. He's not on Facebook. He
it
has
was
no
streaming on
Facebook.
yours. It's streaming on yours. I'm looking right at it.
All right. You want to
Oh,
send
you
him
know
one real
what?
quick?
Tell him to go to your YouTube. Hang on, I got you. I got it.
All
Don't
right.
even worry about it. Go to the
Do
next.
that for me, and I'm going to end this
I got you.
Gainesville Ripper thing.
Yeah.
So,
Got you.
I did write this down for you because I was anticipating you say that story was better than Scream. So, if you are interested in learning more about the Gainesville Ripper, there is an episode of a TV show called Cold Blood. That's all about him. There is an episode of a TV show called Nightmare Next Door. That is all about him. There is a book you could read that Sandra London collaborated with Danny Rawlings, and the book is called The Making of a Serial Killer, The Story of the Gainesville Murders in the Killer's Own Words. Now, hold on, not finished. There's a TV show called Murder Made Me Famous about him. The TV show 2020 has an episode about him in 2021. He has, if you're into collecting murderabilia like me, just Google murderabilia and you will, or True Crime Auction House, and you can buy things from him. He wrote songs, hymns, drew pictures. There is a book about him called Drifter. And Audie's favorite thing, I saved this for last. There is a song about the Gainesville Ripper. It is called Harold Rowling's Hymn. It is from an album that came out in 2007. The CD is called The Devil Knows My Name, and the artist is, can you guess? John 5.
Oh, no way.
Yeah,
Didn't
dude.
know that. Didn't even know that.
I should have gave you a little more time to guess.
I was gonna say like Jim Morrison,
Marilyn Manson or some
Marilyn
shit.
Manson.
Right. Or Rob Zombie or somebody. But yeah, dude. John 5.
Yeah.
Dude, it's the worst song I've ever heard in my life. It's 54 seconds long. It's usually he's like, winna, 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 and it's amazing. But this is like pure industrial garbage. And he's like, there once was a man who lost his head. It's like, it sucks. It's so bad. It's just listen to it. The song is called Harold Rowling's Hymn by John 5. The CD is called The Devil Knows My Name. And it's the worst 54 seconds of your fucking life.
I'll have to check it out.
Please do. And then you can tell me how fucking terrible it is. So did you send that link to that dude?
I did. He's on. He's got it.
He's watching?
Yeah.
Nice. Now, I truly apologize. I hope that my fucking rambling didn't turn away any of our listeners.
It doesn't matter.
Don't blame us, right?
Don't blame us, because I could care less if you watch or not.
Right. Well, don't say that, because I want their money. Send me your money.
You're gonna kill him?
No. Dick. Why you gotta put me on blast, bro? But for real, Patreon, send us some money, or you can fucking PayPal it to us. We don't care. Let's talk about the White House boys. You know way more about that than I do, and you just recently visited them, yes?
I did.
Man, you were fast with that.
I'm gonna I'll be uploading some vloggage of the grounds. I went there with intentions to see the actual White House and to see the graves. It's since I don't know. It was a pain in the ass when I went there because like what I had in my head didn't turn out what you know I wanted to do. Kind of it's kind of like my first marriage. It looked good in my head, but then when it happened, like it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to.
Mistakes were made.
Yeah, and fail is the acronym is first attempt in learning. So,
I
I
never
learned on
heard
that
that.
one.
Did you
Yeah,
learn that in AA? That sounds like some AA
I
would say.
think the army taught me that. I'm not sure. I
Oh,
didn't do
snap.
that. So now in Florida, in my younger years, if you messed up as a child or a juvenile, your parents had this ongoing thing, and they would say, "We're going to send you to Dozier," which it's uh, Dozier, the school for boys, and it's in Marianna, Florida. And when this gets published on all platforms, I'm probably going to piss some people off because there is a big following of these of the White House boys. Uh,
The survivors?
yeah, I
There's like 5 of them, right?
look. I'm not saying the events did not happen at all.
Okay.
From the school was opened up in 1900 and it closed 111 years later. It was
Don't make me do
finally
math, man. Just tell me
that's
when it
100 that's
closed.
111 years. It was I believe it was finally shut down in 2011, I think it was. So
Holy shit,
recently.
that's recent.
And as a kid I was growing up, if I did something wrong, my mom legit would threaten me with like, I'm going to send you to DJJ. Uh, or she'd say, "You're going to Dozier. You're going to Dozier." And at the time, like we would always pass through Marianna, and it was like these big, like 10 feet fences with barbed wire. Like there was a certain part you went off the interstate, and there it was. It was like 1,400 acres of nothing but this big ass school for boys, and it was the school for the United States. So there was like people from Rockford, California, um, you name it. They were all sent to this centralized school because it was like the biggest one in the whole United States.
But it wasn't a school for bad kids, right? Wasn't it a school for like orphans and shit? Like
From what I
unwanted
gather,
children?
it was for school for misbehaved children. And what I understand, some of these kids from 9 years old up. And here's what you can read about it, but here's what I think. This school was erected in 1900. That right there, is going to be bad. Think
Oh,
about that.
absolutely.
A school this size for misbehaved kids in the
Well, it's like the
1900s,
size of my fucking kitchen, right? Like it's very small, right?
1,400 square,
I don't mean this.
1,400. It was 1,400 acres. Did I say square feet?
No,
It
but
was
the house itself was like
no, 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 no. The house was just
the
a
White
a
House,
small fragment of this whole entire place.
right? Because that's where they got taken to be abused. There was like 6
They
jail cells, 3 on each side,
Yeah,
20
they were
foot
taken to this house.
hallway.
They would turn on a big industrial fan to muffle out the screaming. They would rape, they would beat, they would kill these kids for the littlest shit. Because like in prison, you're going in the hole or you're going on lockdown.
At least they tell you why. You know why? Because you fucking
Yeah.
stabbed fucking Johnny Ruckus, you know?
And that's the thing. Like, this place wasn't a place for like the newspaper boy or the hometown football star. These were kids that were actually bad,
Okay.
but in the 1900s, from what I read, they would send kids just for like crossing the road when they're not supposed to, or climbing a tree on someone's property, or not saying yes ma'am and no sir. Like
That's
it
fucked.
was that easy to get sent to this school from what I'm reading. And I'm like, what? I was like, man, I would have been in there years ago, especially when I burnt the mayor's yard. Like
Yeah,
shit.
no shit.
Like that would justify enough for me to go to Dozier. I'm just saying, I
Right.
dodged that bullet.
Yeah, no shit. We're definitely lucky to be raised in the times that we were.
Like some of the stuff my kid does, like I could easily back in the day be like, "You're going to Dozier,"
Right.
for telling your mom kiss her, kiss my ass.
Right.
But this school had a lot of bad tragic things. There was rapes, murders. Uh, where I'm going to piss off some of these survivors is you got to think in the 1900s all the way up until even poverty's still around till like the even the 80s. Hell, even today. But I'm saying like the 1900s, you're like if like I was married and I was a poor home and I wanted the best for my kid, send him to Dozier. Let the state take care of him. He's not my responsibility anymore. Maybe he'll get a better life and then pushed out into the world somewhere else. You know what I mean? That's what I'm thinking. I'm like,
If
because
that's the way the school was fucking like commercialized, hey, send your kid to us.
but
We'll
like I
raise them,
said,
teach them how to be a man. Because that's what they were supposed to do, right? They were supposed to teach him how to be a man and send him out into the world, right?
right, but
Like a
like
reform school, but just like a lack of a better
rehabilitate
term,
him,
maybe.
rehabilitate back in the world as a productive part of society.
Right. And
You
I
know,
remember watching an interview of a guy, one of the boys, there's like five, and they're probably what, in their 50s, 60s, 70s, something like
yeah,
that.
I think they're 7. Yeah, they're old.
And this guy said that more Charles Mansons came out than good people,
Yeah,
like
absolutely, because it was because of the torture of what the kids were enduring in the school. Like,
right.
you were basically molding serial killers. But my
It was a
thing is
fucking
where I'm
false flag operation. Send us your kids so we can fuck them and beat them,
right. Well,
basically.
send us your kid for getting caught smoking a cigarette because the state's going to pay us money.
Mm,
But I feel like some of these kids were sent there because the parents just couldn't afford it, or even their parents didn't want the kids, so they said, "Yeah, my kid told me, fuck you, I want him sent here," and it was that easy, you
right.
know. But
Damn, that's
then
fucked.
on the other side of the spectrum, there was actually kids that were not the best of kids, and they probably deserved to be there, not deserved to get raped, killed, or murdered, or anything like that, but they deserved to
Right.
be there. Like, hey, this kid's actually a badass kid. Like, he set the mayor's yard on fire. Like, we need to
Right.
fucking take him to the White House and beat the shit out of him. You know what I mean? But
Right.
like, I talked to a deputy when I was on the site because Jackson County uh built their sheriff's department in the backside of this place. You have to go through Dozier, the grounds, to get to the sheriff's department. It's weird. I'm like, drive because I got permission. I was like, look, I'm not going to jail for this. So I went back there. I talked to a sheriff's deputy. I was like, look, I'm gonna take some video. I'm gonna take some pictures. I'm not gonna steal. I'm not gonna vent. I gave him the whole spiel.
Right.
And he told me that his family, after generation to generation, worked in this prison from like the 40s up till it closed. And he said that the place didn't actually put the big fences up till like the mid 80s. So it was an open compound. And he was like, what you read on the internet is not absolutely 100% true. Did the kids get killed there? Yes. Was there rapes? Absolutely. This is a prison. This shit kind of happened, but he was like, it's not all what some of these survivors put it out to be, and some of these people that just make content on the internet. And that's why I'm struggling with my vlog when I'm going into the editing process is I don't want to turn it into some like this is the worst place ever. I want to be 50-50 with
Accurate.
it. I want to
Yeah.
be
Oh,
like,
okay.
yeah, I want to be like, okay, here's this side, but here's this side. So he was like, these kids would be 2 and 3 weeks or a day before they're released, but they would run, get caught, go to the White House, and then their sentences be extended because they had nowhere to go. That's all they knew was that place, and they knew going home was worse than being in that detention or prison for children. And
Right.
he made some really good valid points, and he's like, you know, uh, if you sit back and look at it, all of a sudden, all these people are coming forward, and there's actually an ongoing trial right now with uh, the state paying these victims. Was it reparations or something like that? What's that word?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go. When he said that, I was like, well, that makes sense. Because I'm gonna say I was put in there in 2000, you know, fucking 10, and I was beat, so pay me. You see what I'm saying? Like the White House boys, yeah, it was probably an
But there's only
accident.
like 5 White House boys, right?
Right. And my thing is
And they're all old as shit.
yeah, like
Because from what
where
I've seen is that there's only like 5 dudes that are like the White House boys or whatever, and they just recently did a reunion and they came back to the grounds,
yeah.
and they were like all like in their at least 50s, at least. So I don't think anyone like 2010 was probably just a bad example or whatever of a year, but like, do you think there'd be more than 5 people wanting reparations? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's what I'm saying. Like, why so less? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
wouldn't there be more? Wouldn't there be like employees speak up?
Yeah, no, that's a
Like,
weird
why
thing. I never
now?
thought of it like that
Don't
either.
get me wrong. I'm not degrading or downplaying what happened to these kids when they were children. I 100% believe them when it comes to the murders and the rapes and all this crazy stuff.
Isn't there tons of unmarked graves behind the building of like PVC crosses? And they're
Yeah.
all unmarked with no names and they're all like about the size of a
Well,
child. But
well,
you can't go back there, right?
yeah. Well, the state. Here I'll play a little clip.
Hmm.
Uh, I'll play this little clip to kind of paint
Yeah,
the
that's a
picture a
great
little
idea.
bit.
Give the audience a little visual.
Yeah.
On a story 10 Tampa Bay has been following for years. State leaders are announcing new details in the case, an investigation into the Dozier School for Boys in the Florida Panhandle. The longtime reform school is known for decades of abuse, including beatings, torture, rape. In
There's the White House.
2016, investigators identified 55 human remains. A more extensive search started last year, and today the investigator announced no other remains were uncovered. A survivor from the school was in Tallahassee today, begging state leaders to keep searching.
We were told that if we ever wrote a letter or told our parents anything that took place in the White House, that we would get another beating. And if that's not some kind
That's
of...
Charlie Fudge. He's a member of the White House Boys, a group of survivors that came together years ago. That group is named after the infamous white building on campus where they say the beatings happened. More for you tonight on 10 Tampa Bay, starting at 5 o'clock.
Yeah. So my thing is okay, there was a lot of unmarked graves. I got it. These kids were dying and no families was claiming them. So what do? You know what I mean?
I don't know.
Like what do you do? Like if your family has abandoned you, like where are you gonna bury these kids?
That's some really sad shit. Like,
It is, dude.
damn.
Like
First of all,
like
they're
it's
in like this jail for dumb shit, but then like the fact they're getting beat the whole time is totally not cool. But
no
then just dying alone like that and not even being
right.
claimed, like, were
Some
they
of
really
them,
that fucking goddamn bad, or were their parents just pieces of shit?
but
You know?
and that's what I'm trying to say. Like let's blame the parents. Okay, the kids
Right,
went through hell, but let's go after the parents. Let's not go after the
for
employees of
sure.
the state. Okay, we'll go after the employees of the state who committed these crimes. No doubt about it. But
Right,
let's go after the parents. Let's hold somebody accountable for their actions other than the people doing the harm. We
for
get
sure.
that. That's wrong. But, and I feel like I'm victim shaming. Well, if your parents didn't put you there, you wouldn't have got raped. So that's where I'm like on that spectrum when I do this editing to this vlog, because I said a lot of shit in that thing and I'm like, ugh, probably shouldn't have said that. you know.
Fuck it.
I got a picture. I'm trying to bring up
I just think it's fucked up that if these parents sent their kids there thinking they're going to be rehabilitated or whatever, and then when they die, like no one's there to be like, what the fuck happened to my kid?
right.
Like when I was 16, I did something pretty fucked up and I got Rodney Kinged. I got the shit beat out of me by 6 cops and I was facing 7 years. They were going to put me in jail till I was like 21, 22 years old. Mommy and daddy got lawyers and fucking fought it. and I ended up doing only 15 days in a juvenile DOC. Now, when I got out, mommy and daddy was there to pick me up, you know what I'm saying, and
Right.
take me home. Now, these fucking kids, they got, oh, yeah, my fucking son broke the law. Okay, they sent him to this fucking place. There's no letters, there's no phone calls, there's no nothing. And then when they die, there's no like, what the fuck happened to my kid? What'd you do to my kid? What do you mean he died? He's 12 years old. He had fucking cancer? What the
Yeah.
fuck? You know, like, that's I don't know. It's fucked up, man. Like you said, you know, not to victim blame, but it's like, where were the parents? Like,
Yeah,
the
where
parents
were the
led
parents?
these kids to this fucking metaphorical gas chamber. You know what I mean? Like fucking Nazis, you know,
Yeah.
just to
And
die.
that's
Like, what the
just
fuck?
and think of the parents that had bad kids and didn't want to deal with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like was that part of it? Like, you know, I just don't want to deal with you. You know what I mean? This is my
You got
dumb
another
ass
clip?
outside. This is me
Is that
outside the
you?
White House. Yeah. So the state of Florida sealed this up. I couldn't go inside, and out of respect, I didn't want to go inside. You know what I mean? Even if it was open. Uh,
I fucking would. I'd
this
love to
here
go in
is
there.
there's pictures on
Dude,
the
the
internet.
floors are still bloodstained. Like, I saw recent
Yeah, there's
photos.
handprints and some
Yeah, the bloody
scriptures.
handprint like sliding
Yeah.
out on the door frame.
Yeah.
There's blood in the corner, and there's this one little boy that wrote the date, like his first date there and then his last date there, and he wrote 19 times. That's how many times he was taken there. The one
Yeah.
dude says that he saw a boy that was like 12 years old get in the face of a staff member, and they shoved him in the fucking dryer and didn't take him out. Like, he died in that dryer, and they watched it. And then they put him out in a white sheet. And then they were like, well, what do they do with it then? And they were like, they put him in the backseat of a car and drove away. We never saw him again. And I don't know, but that was one of the White House boys that talked about it. And he was like an old man.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I'm
it's
sorry, I
like,
interrupted you. What were
no,
you-
no, you're good. And I have mixed emotions on it. When I was on these grounds walking around, I felt a presence. I'm not like some like medium or all this, but you could just feel the sense of like just this bad negative aura. You know what I mean? Like, man,
Right.
I'm walking on the grounds of, where these kids were brutally, raped or whatever. But at the same time, in the back of my head, I'm like, what's the internet telling us to believe?
Right.
What really happened? Like, I get it, the White House boys, I believe them, but at the same time, I feel like a lot of them is doing it just to get paid. I know that sounds so bad, and
It could be.
you know
I
what I
don't
mean?
know.
Like, is it that bad? Like, this place went on 111 years. No one blew the whistle.
Yeah, you think there'd be more than 5 fucking people to be like, oh, I got the
Yeah,
shit
it's
kicked out of me.
like none of y'all blew. Look at my dumbass. Look, I look so
Handsome.
fat in that.
Do not demolish. You should have a sledgehammer in your picture. Then it would
Yeah.
be super gangster.
I should have got naked and posed in front of it.
Fuck yeah.
This is the cottage. This is what they housed some of them in, and then 6 of them got killed in a fire in one of these cottages, and 2 of the employees died trying to save them. So, that's documented. So it's like, okay, all this bad stuff, but like, where was the good ones? Why didn't they come forward? I don't
Right.
know. There's so many questions. I got some video footage too. This is gonna be on the blog. This is the church, and
I can't wait to see it, man. I was hoping it was already up, but I know how you like to do your editing and shit, so I totally
yeah, I
searched
gotta be
for it right
careful
before
with
we
this
went live. I
one.
wanted to see it.
You
I
know,
get it, man.
yeah,
You're
it's G
first
subjects
of all, I
because
want
once
to tell you how much I appreciate you going live with me, because that alone is a gamble. Because I kind of fucking, might say some shit. So, if you're gonna go live with me
Well,
every Friday night, I think you're gonna be okay about making a fucking vlog about the White House boys.
it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But the moral of the story, we didn't end the Gainesville Ripper, so you and I will come to agreement. The Gainesville Ripper was pretty fucking hideous. All right, he did that shit.
It takes a lot to
Well,
have the Ripper in your name.
Yeah.
Like, for example, like you got the Hillside Strangler. Oh, I wonder how he killed his victims. Ripper.
Yeah.
It's he used a fucking knife. He stabbed women in the back 5 times.
Yeah.
Fucking.
And my thing
I,
to add to that, no man stepped up to him. He beat the shit out of his dad and he killed the dude that was in the house.
right.
So this guy was like not a force to reckon with, like at all. You know what I mean? Like, but somebody like myself could have stood up and been like, I'm gonna fucking kill you myself. Like, you know what I mean? Maybe that's just
Right.
my mentality of murderers. Like, I would barehandedly kill you for what you've done to all these females. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, maybe that's just me. Again, it's in my head, but I come down to it, the guy would probably rip my eyeballs out and pose me in a picture with mirrors.
Well, that's what I think about a lot when I hear about these families where like one guy comes in and kills a whole family, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't want to learn firsthand. Believe that. But it makes me wonder how the fuck does that happen? Like, even a chihuahua, they hear that screen door open, they're gonna yap, 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 and you're gonna wake up. And like, what do? Are you standing around waiting to see what happens? You call
Yeah.
the cops? Do you not have a gun next to your bed? Like I don't understand how these things happen. I get little children getting picked up by the bus stop, and that fucking terrifies me, bro. That you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That shit is fucked. But it just like for some guy to take a crowbar to your sliding glass door, come into your house and kill your whole fucking family with just a knife that you have a fucking whole wooden block of on your kitchen counter. He has one of them and he kills your whole fucking family. What's
And
the
he gets
fucking
away.
God's
And
junk drawer? Oh, I was like,
he gets away.
and he gets
with
away.
it.
He does it 5 times.
Like, nobody stops this guy.
Right.
Like, I would take vigilante justice.
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. That's what we need to do.
I'd
You
love
and I need
to,
to
but
team up.
I got a life, man.
We need to wear like Spider-Man suits and be like vigilante justice.
Hey, I would dress up as Ghostface, 100%. Dude, you want to know something fucked up? I went there in my head today. All right. So, my whole Chrysler situation where laid off and
Yeah.
they're constantly giving me these papers in the mail, giving me these offers like, oh, go to the fucking plant in Los Angeles. Here's 60 grand. I'm like, fuck you. I just bought a house a year ago. I can't do that. They constantly send me these pieces of fucking paper in the mail that I have to fill out, and I have to drive it into Belvedere to the fucking HR and fucking deliver by a certain date, right? It's cold as shit out here, dog. It was -9. I had my motherfucking boots on. I had my army pants on. I had this dope ass hoodie that says Scream on it. I had a black face mask and my trench coat. And I get out the car and I'm like, boom, 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 boom. And I walk in the door and people were like, what the fuck? Like nobody screamed or yelled, but they were like fucking just super nervous. And then I reach in my back pocket. 2 of those bitches dipped. Straight up. 2 of them dipped. And I'm like, yo, I'm here to turn in my fucking piece of paper. Like, just fucking give me the stamp so I can go back home. I don't want to be here either, But I thought about it and went there in my head, and I'm like, if I was gonna do some spooky fucking active shooter shit, now I know what to wear,
Shit. Yeah, so the Ripper will say on a scale 1 to fucking 10 for Florida, what do you deem him as for a killer that's come out of Florida? Is it like your when I say this, I'm not saying it's his favorite.
You almost said the F word.
But like, is it like you're intrigued killer because they made a Scream movie about it, or is it
absolutely not? I think he's a bitch. Fuck that pussy.
So maybe that's what I mean. The most fuck you.
But I get what you mean though. Like favorite is a lack of a better term.
Yeah, I don't mean to use
there are
favorite.
Serial killers who intrigue me 100%.
Right.
But Gainesville Ripper is so far off my radar. The only reason I've never done research on him ever, except for tonight, because we were going to talk about jerk offs from Florida,
Yeah.
And I mean that by like criminals, not you.
Yeah.
Tonight's the first time I ever did research on, and his the only reason why I even know of this guy is because of my love for the movie Scream. Otherwise, I would have never even heard of him. He's so far off my radar. Fuck
Yeah.
you, dude. He he only, man, this is so fucked up to talk about, but like he only killed 5 people, which, you know, isn't a big deal. But like, it's just, I don't know, man. I'm scared to say things.
Yeah.
But yeah,
No,
I think he's a punk, and he
I
just
get what you're
he broke
saying.
into some apartments and he killed 17-year-old girls. They were 17 years old. His oldest victim was in his 50s, and that was like a random house he broke into to rob, and they were preparing dinner, and it was a 53-year-old man, his 23-year-old daughter, and their 8-year-old son. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you. 2 17-year-old girls, 2 23-year-old girls. Like, he was just some sick fuck whose daddy beat the shit out of him, and he just broke into at houses and with a knife and killed people. And as far as like 1 to 10 goes, fuck him, man. He's like a fucking 2. Fuck him.
No, I agree. It's hard to speak of these when they intrigue you because you don't want to say favorite. You know, it's
Right.
kind of like, ugh. But I get
Right.
what you're saying, and I hope the audience understands kind of where we're trying to go with this, and not think that Darren is some fucking weird fucker that sits in his basement jacking off to Scream all day. But that's neither here nor there.
It's absolutely 100% true, but and what makes it worse is I collect murderabilia, you know? So it's like, fuck. Like, for me to own these items, you know what I'm saying, and post them on social media, and then I go live on the internet and be like, I don't glorify the stuff. They're going to be like, yeah, right, you sick fuck. And I really want to clear the air. Like, I don't glorify these things, but god damn it, is it interesting. Because
Right, of
we all
course.
have that shit in our fucking mind. We all have the same muscle that lives in the walls of our skull, that lizard fucking brain that makes us be like, I could kill this motherfucker right now. My fucking boss, he said some more dumb shit, I'm gonna break his goddamn nose. But we don't, because we know the consequences, and we think about it.
Yeah.
We're like, it's not worth it. But there's people out there who cross that fucking line,
Right.
and instead of just jerking off to a fucking weird video on the internet, they actually break into somebody's house. Like,
Yeah. And
this typically happens in America.
right.
It's Americana.
And I think that the mind is a powerful thing. Like, I play out scenarios before I do certain things, especially being law enforcement.
Absolutely.
You know, I feel like they take it to the next level. 'Cause I feel like their mind just basically overturns or overwhelms their body. Like, it was right in my head. You know, this is what I forecasted and this is what I did. And then that goes back to those killers. It was like I blacked out. Like, I don't remember any of it, and would be like 100%
I
don't
think a lot
remember
of
any
that
of it.
blackout thing is bullshit. I think a lot of them say that to try to get a lesser sentence,
You
or
think
to try
so?
to,
I don't
yeah,
know
for
though, because
sure.
I've been in fights where
I
I
know where you're
literally
going with
blacked
this,
out. I'm like, "Huh,"
for
I
sure.
come back and I'm like, "What happened?" I literally like, "What just happened?" My nose
But
is bloody,
that
you
wasn't a
know?
passionate fight. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but like, me knowing you, I don't see you as the type of guy going out looking for a fight. You don't like,
No.
I'm gonna go beat the next motherfucker up, or
No.
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, the fights that you've been in were just shitty situations that you found yourself in, and there was no other way out of it other than to defend yourself, or hey, this guy deserves to get punched in the face, I'm gonna do it. But you didn't stab him, you didn't break into his house, you didn't kidnap
Yeah.
his daughter,
No,
you
it
didn't plot. It
premeditated.
was a crime of passion. It
Yeah.
was a spur of the moment. You know what I'm saying?
No, I get it. And maybe just
But the blacking out thing is real. That's
right.
100% real.
Maybe with the killers, their mind is wired different, obviously, because they're committing a crime heinous to
Right.
kill and rape people. Maybe that's their form of blacking out. You know what I mean? Like, ugh. I mean, I'm
They
not
could black
justifying
out.
them. You know what I mean? Maybe legit. Hey, I don't remember
Dude,
doing that.
all right, here's another scenario. Like, do you think I remember every single moment when I'm on stage performing? Absolutely not.
No.
When I'm performing in concerts and shit, I get off of it and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I don't remember it. And I'll have people come up to me and be like, dude, I tried to fucking fist bump you when you were up there. And I'm like,
You
dude,
called me a
I
fucking
don't,
asshole and you flipped me off.
Yeah, like I don't see you
Get
people when I'm
away.
on stage. I don't see anybody. I see lights, and I black out,
I
kind of,
would do
but
the
not
same.
black out. I just don't
Yeah.
remember it.
Maybe you're
So
so in tune and focused to remember lyrics, you're just like, you
right,
know what I mean? Like,
and
fuck.
these people have the same mentality. Maybe like this is what I came to do. I'm doing it, and they're so in the fucking moment, living it. Like, yeah, this is why I'm fucking here. And then when
Yeah.
it's all said and done, they're like, what the fuck just happened? You know?
Yeah. So we're at an hour and 10. I want to do at least an hour and 30.
Okay.
This is a good topic. This is a good cast. I'll cut the Esto Florida child killer really short, but I want to move on to Eileen Warren.
Right now?
Let's talk about the Esto Florida killer, just for the simple fact that Esto Florida is like from Bonifay, Florida. It's like literally the next town over. Like it's like 5 to 8 miles. You're in Esto,
All
and
right.
Esto is a population of like 300 people. And
I have an
I'll tell
idea.
okay.
I want you to talk about this thing that you're going to talk about. But right before we get into Eileen Warnos, I'm going to take a piss break. But I have the perfect thing for you to do while I'm taking a piss.
Yeah.
You could
Let
play
me
Eileen
play.
Warnos' favorite song.
I'll play a clip of the Esto, Florida, somewhat of it. You go piss, and then we'll go into Eileen.
Well, how long is the clip?
I think it's 6 minutes.
Okay. What are we going to talk about? Because this is something I know nothing about, right?
The Esto?
Yeah,
No.
I know nothing about this.
No. I'm gonna tell the story just because it's basically my hometown. And
All right, get into it. I'll be back in less than a minute and a half.
Yeah, sure.
Go.
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
You mean play the clip?
Yeah. I'll be right back.
Hurry up. All right, for the whole 2 people that's watching. So the Esto Florida killer, I know these people. And I want to say they're related far, far down the chain because of how small of town this is. I come from like a redneck town. But anyway, I'm going to play this clip. So for those who are watching, pay close attention, and I'll tell a little bit of the story, and then we'll move on. I just wanted to add this in because it's so close to home, and I know these people. Like I know everybody in these clips. So check it out.
Boy sitting on the stand in open court. That's troubling enough. But now imagine that the story he has to tell is one that could rob him of his mother forever.
But is his version of a frantic few minutes the truth, or is it embellished by his 7-year-old imagination or someone else's? A jury will decide, and so can you, as Ashley Banfield brings you into a family drama and a child's mind.
In this courtroom, a life hinges on what a little boy will say.
Now, this is microphone right here, all right?
A.J. Hutto.
How old are you?
7,
And what grade are you in, AJ?
1st grade.
He swears to tell the truth and nothing but the truth.
Can you tell me what a lie is?
It's not the truth.
So real quick, this kid, I'll cut through some of this clip.
He's
kid
7?
Yeah, dude. This kid basically
He's so tiny, dude. That's crazy.
put
It's so
his
sad to
mother-
see that.
Yeah, he brought justice for his sister. So real quick for the audience, this kid basically witnessed his mother drown his sister. Very tragic event. The mother apparently played it off as it was an accident, but the child watched the whole thing go down. And apparently when the police officers got out there, this kid was speaking of the incident, and because he was 7, they're like, it's kids being kids with their imaginations.
Right.
And, the kid was asked to draw what he saw. And he ended up drawing like a picture of the trailer, the road. When I say trailer, I mean home. I think it was a trailer. And he drew the power lines from his view. This is what got This is what made everybody like, holy shit. He drew exactly the 2 power lines, the back of the house, the pool, his mom pushing the child's head into the water. You know, it was wild. Jalick said she heard of the story. This is actually on Netflix, Female Murderers. You can find this on Netflix. They do an interview with the mother, and the sheriff of my town at the time is on it. It's pretty wild, but
Female Murderers, Netflix.
yeah, I'll have to give you the name. It's they interview female murderers. I can't remember exactly the name, but it was on Netflix.
I think it's funny you still call her Jalick, by the way. So this happened like in the same county or county over? Or
yeah,
when
the
was this,
same
in the
county.
90s? What's up?
Holmes County. This is in 2000.
Oh.
2008?
Well, less than 20 years ago, so.
Yeah. I'll go through some of the clips. Yeah, it was a trailer. I knew I was right. Let's play a little bit. I'll kind of skip through it. I want to really get on the alley.
Would be their last
No,
day
hey,
together.
man, you take your time with
A
this.
nurse's
Because
assistant
fucking,
at a
I
nursing
don't know nothing about it.
Okay.
So you do what you want. This
Amanda
is your
says
segment.
she got off the night shift and napped while the kids watched cartoons. The plan for the day? Shopping for school supplies. The temperature was in the hundreds. She says the kids wanted to swim.
I told them that we couldn't get in the pool today because we were getting ready to go. So they wanted to go outside and play for a few minutes while I got everything ready.
Outside in the yard sat this above-ground pool, 18 feet across, 4 feet deep. Without supervision, it was off limits to the kids, with the pool ladder locked in the shed. Amanda says AJ came into the house. What did he say?
He said, Mama, Adriana's in the pool. At first, I thought he meant maybe she was by the pool. And I said, okay, well, tell her to come in. And he went back out.
Amanda says as soon as she looked out the back door at AJ, their lives took a tragic turn. What did you say?
See, just by looking at her, you know,
That's
after
the mom
whole,
that committed the murder?
Yeah, after the whole story, you know, unfolded, but just reading her just from that, it's fucking bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, you killed your daughter.
How old was the daughter?
7. I believe it said
There's no way in fuck. That pool is 3.5 feet deep. I have the same goddamn pool in my backyard.
Mm-hmm.
A 7-year-old kid is not going to drown in a 3.5 foot deep pool. There's no way.
I agree. I if anything, if she was short, you know, I don't know, man. It obviously the kid, the son, you know, was like, yo, my mom fucking did that shit. You know what I mean?
So correct me if I'm wrong. Let me try to get up to date here. So like, this mom was saying it's hot as fuck. The kids want to swim. We can't swim. They had to go get school supplies or something. They come back, but one of the kids fucking came inside and was like, hey, the kid's in the pool. So it was the little brother that saw. Run me up, because I'm fucking way confused. My piss break fucked it all up.
So so basically the kids want to get in the pool. She's painting her picture for her innocence. Kids want to get in the pool. She said no. So when you tell a child no, they're gonna freaking do it, right? That's what she's painting the picture. Like, I already told him no. I already told him it was off limits. We got things to do. And then my son comes in and says she's in the pool. And then I look out and she's in the pool dead.
Yeah, right.
And then what comes out in the wash, no pun intended, rest in peace to that little baby child. The son's like, Mom, I watched Mama do it.
Like to the cops or whatever.
Yeah,
when, like, paramedics show up or whatever.
Yeah, the investigator's like, wow, this kid, you know, this kid's going to be on trial. Like, this is the youngest kid we've ever had come forward and be a witness to a murder. And we have to, he's not an adult. So how are we going to do this? And
the little boy was 7. How old was the victim?
I think they said it was like 7 or 8. It said it in the video.
All right, because in the video they said the boy on trial was 7 years old, I think.
Yeah,
unless I misheard it.
I think the daughters were like somewhere around the same age or something.
All right.
I mean, regardless,
Irish twins.
but
what's this case called?
I looked up the Esto.
I just want to know how old the
child
victim
killer.
is. So
Yeah, look it up real quick. The victim, I think the video said she was like 7 or 8.
so how do I
Uh,
Google this? What's the story over here?
We'll say I can pull it up on the screen. We'll say the Esto, Florida child.
Esto, Florida child killer.
Yeah.
Esto, Florida.
Yeah, but what was so crazy about it is it happened in 2000. Okay.
Adriana Hudo.
Okay, so the female was 7.
7-year-old
and the
American
brother-
girl.
Yeah.
7 years old.
Yep.
So you were right.
And yeah, so it happened in 2007. So I was a year off. Was it? Was it 2007? Yeah, on August 2007. So it basically says Lewis went to trial in February of 08. I left for the Army in March. I remember it happened right before I left. Statements that AJ, which was the kid, and Dr. Fox were brought up as evidence, and the defense argued that with AJ, that was not a reliable witness, as his story had changed several times during the further questioning. And it says other evidence brought you to trial included an autopsy performed by Dr. Charles, statements from Lewis's co-workers, evidence of poor housekeeping and the lack of toys, including Lewis's statement over the toys' whereabouts.
What I'm getting out of this little cunty McShitterton, if she's doing a fucking interview, did she get off with it? Is she like another fucking Casey Anthony or what?
Oh no, dude, she got fucking life. The
right.
child ended up like the evidence, from the autopsy to the son basically was like, yo, my mom did that. Like I watched. He drew a
Right.
picture of everything that went down to the T.
Do you have anything of that, like videos
Let's see.
Because I've never heard this, and this happened like right next door to you, so I want to fucking hear about it.
Yeah.
Because this is fucked.
Did
they come up with a motive with this bitch or what?
So
why is she drown her fucking 7-year-old
what I got out
girl?
of it. So what I got out of it was from what friends and stuff has stated that she wasn't really a fan of her daughter. Like I guess there was some abuse in the house, bruises and in one of the interviews the mother was like she was just problematic. In one of the interviews she said that my child, talking about the little girl, drew all over her car with a permanent marker, and like she tried to paint it as this kid was like just a wild kid, but it's like it's just
maniacal and uncontrollable.
Yeah.
Like so was my kid. You know what I do? I bust that ass. You know what I mean?
It's like
last time he's gonna draw on my shit.
I just think it was the whole she just had enough, and was like,
how old was this fucking hood rat?
I think she was my age. Let's look it up. I think she was. Let's see. What's crazy is I know so many people that are related to her. I think somewhat down the road I might be related to her.
Well, in Florida, all y'all are related to each other, ain't you?
Yeah, we all migrate down from Alabama.
To live in God's junk drawer, the throbbing cock of the U.S.
It's cheap. Shut up.
Fucking panhandle behavior, motherfuckers.
I don't know how old she was. I think she's like my age. She might have been a grade or two ahead of me, maybe. But yeah, that's basically the story of the Esto Florida killer. I wish I could tell you more, but it's out there, man. It's on Netflix, and they interview her, and some of the people were like, yeah, she hated her daughter. Like this was a ticking time bomb. This was bound to happen, apparently. So, good for AJ. I'm sure AJ, he's of age now. This was in 2007. He was 7 in 2007. That was like what, 15 years ago. So this kid's like what, 22, 23 or some shit.
How fucked is that to watch your mom drown your little sister? And like, you don't know what to think about it at the time, because you can tell your kids anything. Like, my kids think Santa and the fucking Easter Bunny and the Tooth Fairy are real. I can tell them that strangers can sneak into their house, put presents under a Christmas tree, put money under their pillow. But if someone snuck into my house, best believe they'd catch some fucking rounds to the belly button. But it's like they believe the other thing. Like, oh, so Santa can come in our crib, but fucking Tommy from down the street can't? It's like, no, he can't, you know? He's not allowed, you know? But they believe those things. So for a 7-year-old to watch his mom hold your fucking sister underwater until the bubbles stop.
Yep.
And then just be like, is this normal? Like,
yeah, even at the age of 7, this kid was like, this ain't right.
Absolutely right, dude.
You
for
know
sure.
what I mean? Like, this ain't right. And
for him to
mommy needs to pay.
Yeah, and like he stood up to the plate and was like, yo, this is fucked up. Like, all I know is I'm never gonna see my sister again.
Yeah.
And that's because fucking my mom did that shit, you know.
She
took away Grand Theft Auto 3 anyway. Fuck her, you know.
Yeah, she took away my Manson CDs. Fuck bitch.
Right. Fuck.
Yeah,
this is why this is how juggalos are created, by watching this bullshit. The fuck is wrong with it?
If there's any underage people watching this, please turn off now.
Oh man, I hope there ain't any underage people watching this.
Me either. I hope I didn't fall out on her. So let's move on to what you and I. So real quick. So AJ's mom did that shit, no doubt.
So don't blame us. It's gonna go out.
Yeah.
And we're gonna say 10 out of 10. AJ's mom did that shit.
Yeah, she did that shit.
All right, so that's the second time we're gonna go out and say it. Number 1, Casey Anthony, 10 out of 10. That bitch did that shit. 10 out of 10. This other hooker, she straight did that shit.
Oh yeah, straight up.
That bitch did that shit.
Fucking bitch. Anyway, I hope the AJ wherever he's at, and what's crazy, dude.
I hope he's a fucking professional skateboarder. Or he's out directing fucking fantastic horror movies like Scream or something. Fuck.
And if if he stumbles across this, like, power to him, respect. It didn't mean any disrespect out of this whole video. We're telling
100%.
You know, like, we're telling the people how fucked up your mom is. You're the real hero. I'm saying this, Darren, because legit, I'm friends with a lot of people from this hometown. And I'll show him this shit. So
I feel bad. Like, did I shit all over that whole segment, or like, is there anything else you want to touch base on it?
No, man. It's I'm glad he gave justice to his little sister at a young age. It sucks that he had to do that at such a young age, but you know what I mean.
It's crazy
He's the
to
real
testify
hero.
against your own mother. Absolutely, 100%. I agree. He's a hero, like a motherfucker.
Yeah,
it'd be crazy because so many mommies and daddies can be like, "Hey, this is what happened. Say this, say that." And he's like, no, bitch. You know, like,
exactly.
That's wild. For a 7-year-old. I got t-shirts older than that kid. You know what I'm saying? And he knew what happened that day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Like me, like, if I was a grown man and I witnessed that, obviously I'd do something about it. But where would my head be? Like, I just watched my mom kill my sister. You know, let's say I was like 15, like, I don't want my mom to get in trouble. You know, he was so innocent to where he knew right from wrong. You know, because, you know, kids' heads, brains, they're so pure and blunt. They hold nothing back.
Right.
You know, but as you get older, you start thinking like
that brutal
rationally.
Honesty.
Yeah, you start thinking rationally like a teenager's head, like, well, I don't want to say nothing because I don't want my mom to get in trouble.
That's when you start learning about other people's feelings and like, oh, I shouldn't say this to this person. But when you're 7 years old, you're like, God damn, your cats are veiny, Grandma. That's ugly as fuck. Put some pants on, bitch. You know? There you have that brutal honesty. Right.
No, the fuck you ain't, you little shit.
Your house fucking smells like mothballs. What the fuck is wrong with Grandma? I don't want to go to Grandma's house no more. It fucking smells over there like cat litter.
And then you're like, shut the fuck up. Right. Say that. But as they get older,
but when you're 14 going to Grandma's house, you're like, God damn,
you just give them a look.
I ain't gonna say nothing.
Yeah, they're 14. You're like, fucking say shit. You know what I mean? Like, oh, bitch. I'll take your iPhone away from you.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. No shit.
But yeah, we'll close that out with the Esto child killer. You know, respect to AJ. If he ever stumbles across this, which there's a possible chance he could,
I'd love to get
You
him
know,
on the show if he's
I
willing to.
I would too, and I would have to tread like very lightly. You know what I mean? Like, is this something this kid really wants to bring up, or is this something he's open about and want to talk about? I'll be all game. Like, I don't want to put the
Right.
pressure on. Right?
For sure.
That trial is all over the fucking internet. It's nothing to fucking.
If he comes on the show, the first thing I'm going to ask him is, "What the fuck was that swimming pool so green? Y'all didn't have chlorine over there?
Exactly.
The fuck is wrong with you Floridian ass motherfuckers? You ain't got chlorine tablets? That pool was green as fuck, dog. You see that shit?
She should just go to prison just for that.
There I go, being a dick again. I told you not to.
Hey, don't blame us. You know what I'm saying? Don't
Exactly.
blame us.
I apologize, kinda. No, because you were getting all serious. You're like, oh, it goes on the podcast. Now he won't ever. I just shut that shit right down.
Yeah. Well, if he
Because he was like, dude, he was starting to write down the email address.
Yeah.
He was like, DONTBLA. What that fucking guy just say?
He's retracting the text. He's like, I'll delete that. Fuck these guys.
Fuck, I apologize, kind of, sort of, a little bit.
Nah, it's all good. Whatever. It's done and over with. His mom is his mom's in prison, so fuck him. You know what I mean? Fuck
He's
her.
probably living his best life right now.
Yep.
Could you imagine being raised by that bitch?
No.
Like, you done killed your sister. You think you weren't going to be next? Or, like, fucking, something's bound to happen.
Well, that's what I'm
saying. Set the fucking house on fire,
Yeah,
something crazy.
Dude, not only did he bring
in
justice for his
stepdaddy to
sister,
beat the shit out of you.
Yeah,
Steal
not
all
only
your
did he-
fucking Ninja Turtle toys and fucking do cocaine on your fucking Transformers blanket.
God damn.
The fuck, man?
Something tells me you've seen this.
I'm just saying, he was better off testifying against his mom rather than being like, no, she didn't do it, and then get raised by the bitch.
Not only did he bring justice for his sister, he just basically saved his own life.
For sure.
You know?
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that.
So you want to move on to Eileen, your girlfriend, or
your first crush?
The girl I idolized my whole life by?
Look at this.
Dude,
You know what this is?
Crazy. What is that, dude?
This is a piece of Eileen Warnos's last rites robe. So the robe that she wore on death row for 10 years, this is a piece of her robe. This was obtained by Dawn Botkins. Dawn Botkins was Eileen Warnos's basically only fucking friend. Eileen Warnos had nobody. And she consistently wrote letters to Dawn Botkins. And when Eileen Warnos was executed by lethal injection on October 9th of 2002, everything went to Dawn. Now, I know people who reached out and purchased these items. You could buy dumb shit like her ashes were spread out amongst a fucking walnut tree, and like you could buy walnuts from that tree if you want.
Yeah.
It's like dumb shit.
That's kind of cool.
But it's a walnut from a tree that grew. This bitch got buried there in 2002. How many walnuts have fallen? You know what I mean? It's not like it's attached to the. I don't know. I guess it's cool.
So you.
But I have a piece of her goddamn robe.
This is
that
all
she
I got.
wore on fucking death row.
I got this from
yeah,
where she was arrested at.
The Last Right bar. Yeah. Or no, not the Last Right bar, the Last Resort bar.
Yeah.
In Volusia County?
I think
Did I say that right?
It's in Daytona. It's Port Orange. It's right outside Daytona. And it might be you might be right with the county.
Yeah, Volusia County.
If you want to check that out, I got a vlog of that bar. It's so shitty, dude. Like that bar, like the guy just basically leaves that bar open because that's where she spent her last whatever time before the cops got her. And he gets people in and out all over the place that just come in just to see that, like my dumbass.
Just for that. I would do the same motherfucking thing, dude.
Dude, me fucking too, bro.
Look at R.E. fucking Lehman. That guy was in a movie for 6 fucking seconds, and he's built an entire career off it. I would do the same fucking thing. My question is that bar called The Last Resort before she got caught, or was it after the fact? I think they did her wrong. So many have done worse and only got life in prison. You are correct, and we're gonna definitely touch base on that.
Oh yeah, most
I
definitely.
fucking agree.
Yep. I don't know, because in the movie or in some of the stuff that I read, it was the last resort.
Okay.
From what
That
I
movie
read.
is bullshit, by the way. They paint it out as this fucking true romance fucking bullshit when it was two broke ass hookers. That it was a fucking shitty situation.
Mhm.
They were drunks, they were hookers, well, fucking Eileen was anyway. And they just I think that she went day to day. Let me back the fuck up. So let's talk about Eileen Warren, yeah?
Yeah.
Do
Bring it in.
you want to talk about your visit to the last resort though? Because
Yeah,
I could talk about Eileen Warnos all day long with my notes and fun facts and all that bullshit, but you're one of the only people who actually visited the last bar where she was arrested, her last moments of freedom. So I think that you should talk about that a little.
Yeah, I'll bring it in a little bit with that, and then we'll go, uh, because granted, she spent a lot of her time in Florida, but she was never from Florida, and I'm sure you're probably gonna hit on that.
She's from the Midwest, I believe.
Like Michigan, wasn't it? Wasn't it Michigan?
I'm pretty sure she married a guy in Michigan, like a rich dude, like way after the fact, after she had her kid and all that shit. I think she married a rich guy in Michigan.
Yeah.
And I think she was, I don't know, dude. I think she might have been still hooking and doing dumb shit. And he's like, what the fuck? And then she pieced out to Florida.
Well, I think she was basically a hitchhiking hooker, a hobo, living off the next basically dick, I think the first person she killed, and I even said this in my vlog, I think she honestly, this is just me, she did it out of self-defense. I really think
the first one,
she was like, fuck, she's getting raped, she gets this guy off, blows him away. But then I think that's what triggered it. Like, yo, I can easily do this and make even more money. I can steal cars. I can do all this stuff that I'm
I
struggling
don't gotta
to
suck
get.
and fuck anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Like, and I think that's what.
But here's what's fucked up: is it was a 12-month period. She only killed 7 guys over a 12-month period. Can you imagine how many guys that she slept with over 12 months?
Yeah,
why only 7?
Go. Yeah, so. I
was there
know.
Like maybe she was just in that mood, like, hey, I'm gonna suck and fuck tonight. It's a good price, $100, quick blowy, and I'm out. Or maybe when the time she decided to murder, she was up and hard, and her fucking girlfriend was on her ass. We need more money. We need a car. And then she'd be like, fuck, I gotta get my girlfriend to shut the fuck up, because we all know what that's like. And then she just fucking kills the motherfucker. Why only 7 dudes over 12 months?
Yeah.
When if she was out there every fucking day, or if she hit a nice big fat lick, first of all, they're living in a fucking hotel room. There's no hotel rooms under $100 fucking dollars, dude. And who carries fucking $500 or more in their wallet of cash? If she's killing these motherfuckers, getting, let's just say, $500 out of their wallet, that's what? That's less than 5 nights. And you still got to fucking drink some brujas and get some cigarettes and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, why only 7 dudes out of 12 months?
I don't know. And maybe, like you said before, it was an up and down for her. Like, the first killing, she got everything she wanted out of it. And then she's up and up and up, and it's like, fuck, I need money. I'm sucking and blowing all this shit, and it's just not getting to me where I need to be. I know if I kill somebody, I get all their money, I get all their credit cards, I get their car. You know what I mean? So I think it was a roller coaster for her. And I think it clicked that she could kill people and easily get more out of it. But there again, what EA said on the comment, they did her wrong. I agree. They did her
Murder's
wrong.
murder. Murder's wrong.
Yeah, murder's murder. And she paid for what she did, obviously, in the great state of Florida.
She fucking pleaded. She pled guilty right away. Like she did a confession, is what she did. And it was because her fucking girlfriend at the time was calling her up, like when the fucking phone was tapped. And she's like, they're coming after me. They're talking to my sister. They're going to get me. I don't want to go down. Eileen is like, fuck, I got you. All right, it's cool.
Yeah,
I'll say everything.
Yeah.
So she confessed to everything. But then she gets on the fucking courtroom, right? Then her fucking girlfriend comes out on the witness stand talking about this bitch did everything. I had nothing to do with it, blah, blah, blah. And then Eileen was heartbroken. Like, this bitch just shit on my heart. Like, I was doing this for you, and now you're going to fucking spit in my face, basically, and metaphorically in the courtroom. And that's when I think she started to be like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm going to say that it was fucking abuse and rape and all this shit.
Yeah.
And another thing, too, is like, in her confession, she clearly stated, she's like, I was a hooker. I used to fuck these guys. And like the one guy tried to rape me, so I killed the motherfucker. And then later on, I just started killing them for their money and shit. But then, like, she admitted to doing this, to murdering men, right, while she was prostituting. But the media was saying that these men weren't out looking for a hooker. Because the family members were like, oh, my dad would never do that. He went to church every Sunday. Or my dad fucking invented fucking Post-it notes. Or some stupid shit, you know? Like, oh, my fucking family member would never do that. So they played it out that she pretended to be a damsel in distress. Like, oh, I'm broke. I'm just looking for a ride. I'm not looking to suck your dick. And then kill him anyway, because the family members were pissed off that their dad or grandpa or uncle or whatever was being portrayed as a John, as somebody who would pick up a hooker.
Yeah.
So, like, she got shit on. They did her wrong completely, because whether or not, all right, first of all, she killed these motherfuckers. Guilty of murder 7 fucking times.
Yep.
Right, straight up. But, not victim blaming, again, but I don't care if these people went to church or not. I don't care if they were the fucking owner of the fucking Toys for Tots or ran the library or whatever.
Preacher.
They were still picking up a fucking hooker, dude.
Yeah.
Don't pick up a hooker.
Yeah. Don't put yourself, and I even said that on my vlog when I started my video. I said that. I said not victim shaming, but you're putting yourself in a position to where this is not rainbows, candy, the Magic Mountain and Candy Mountain. This is a hooker. Like there's a chances of a pimp being somewhere. There's a chance of the hooker just being a straight up killer. Like you're
I've
putting
picked up
yourself in
0 hookers in my life. Guess how many times I've been murdered? The same amount, motherfucker.
Yeah, I stay away from hookers too because I can't afford them.
Well, that's another fucked up thing, is that she started when she was 14 years old, and she claimed to keep her prices really cheap. That way she could get picked up more often. And it's like, prostitution is gross, but what's more gross? Fucking a teenage girl, you know? But think about, she didn't kill her first victim until she was 33 years old. She started prostitution at 14, dude. So she went that fucking long. Like half of mine and yours life as a prostitute. Let me get into some facts, dude.
Go ahead, man. Spit them.
So she was abandoned by a teenage mother at 6 months old. At 6 months old, her teenage mother was like, fuck you, peace out, I'm done. She was raised by an alcoholic grandma and her cruel grandpa who beat her with a belt. All right, beat with belt, whatever. But there's excessive beating, right? Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
That's one thing to spank your kid, but some motherfuckers go way too goddamn far. Her dad committed suicide in jail when she was only 2 years old. Now, at 2 years old, you don't even know your dad. When you hear the news, if you even do hear the news at 2 years old, oh, your dad committed suicide. You don't even know what suicide is. You don't even know who your dad is. But you got to grow up with that, and you got to learn that after the fact. When you're a fucking teenager.
I hate to interrupt you. Let me point out real quick. He committed suicide in Leavenworth.
Really? Is that a Florida thing or what?
That's a military. That's a military post.
Are you sure?
Leavenworth is where we send all criminals in the army to prison. That's the military.
Really? So he's a fucking soldier, eh?
I don't know. It'd have to be. Maybe.
Why? Yeah. Why else would he be in a military prison?
Dude, I don't know. And I've tried to do a little bit of research and I couldn't figure it out. Like, why Why Leavenworth?
Is that one? Are you sure he killed himself in Leavenworth?
Yeah, that's what I
That's
read.
fucking wild. Where's
I'm not saying
Leavenworth? What is it? Is that
Kansas. Fort Leavenworth,
elaborate
Kansas.
on it? What is Leavenworth?
So Leavenworth is like if I killed somebody in the army, if I killed another soldier, that's my prison.
It's a military prison. Okay.
Yeah. I don't go to I mean I can.
Well,
but-
I'm saying that was my next question. You're an MP. Can you get a job at a military prison?
Well,
Or how do they do that?
so I'm a 31 Bravo, which is MP, and then there's 31 Echoes, which is the military correction officer.
Okay.
So for me to get stationed, I could go to Leavenworth. I've heard of MPs working in there, but it's an Echo job, 31 Echo. It's a correction officer. So I don't know
you're a
why he
street
was in
cop,
Leavenworth.
right?
Yeah.
Like you run
Like,
base and
I'm in the
outside
base.
of base.
Not so much outside. That's not my jurisdiction.
Okay.
31 Echoes work in prisons. They work on Guantanamo Bay, which is in Cuba, Leavenworth. They're only like restricted to like 4 duty stations because they're 31 Echoes because they're correction officers.
Okay.
Yeah, the army, the military police.
Your wife is she's a cop, but didn't she start as a CO?
Yeah, she was a Pulaski County Sheriff's deputy, and then she's now a federal police officer.
Y'all some bad motherfuckers.
She works on post now for the federal government as a civilian.
Damn, that's cool. So
yeah,
if you and her were drag racing, who pulls over who, and who's got the bigger dick?
Well,
metaphorically speaking, huh?
I would pull her over.
So you'd be the guy, like if the people come down and like, I'm arresting you. No,
Yeah.
I'm arresting you. Who's going to jail?
She's like the MP civilian side that can do my job on post. See, the army has military police, and they also hire civilians as military police.
Okay.
That make any sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what she is. So she's basically an MP, but on a civilian side, but can still do the same shit I do as an MP on post.
Right.
Making sense. But yeah, he was in
fucking
Leavenworth.
awesome.
Yeah, he was in Leavenworth, and I don't know why he killed himself in Leavenworth. Maybe
I know why he was in Leavenworth.
That's what I'm
I
saying.
know what he got convicted of.
Like, I don't know during the time, is that where they sent people? What has changed? Because I don't know of any civilians that are in Leavenworth.
I don't even know his name, to be honest. I should have went a little bit further in that, but because if I would have known that he was in Leavenworth, I totally would have looked that up. I had no idea. That's crazy.
Go ahead. I'll see what I can do. I'll see
All
if I
right.
can bring it up. Go ahead.
So this fucking cocksmoker, he committed suicide in jail when she was 2 years old, and what he was charged with, can you guess? Kidnapping and raping a child.
Yep.
A child. So this is Eileen Warren's dad. This is her DNA. This is her stock that she comes from. At 13 years old, she was raped. She became pregnant. At 14 years old, she quit school, and that's when her grandpa decided to kick her out. So she started prostitution at age 15. She claimed to get about 5 to 6 guys a day. And she said the reason why she was able to get 5 to 6 guys a day is because of her low prices. There was not much competition. But if you look at Eileen Warren's photos, you can tell at some point she was probably a fox back in the day.
Oh,
before the drugs and the drinking came in and the rough living. Dude, she was a fox back then, I bet. So at 33 years old, she started killing. She straight up says that she was hooking, and then we already chimed in on this. The media says she claimed to be a damsel in distress, trying to get away, but she killed him. And her girlfriend pretty much shit on her. She was arrested January 9th, 1991 in Volusia County. She died October 9th in 2002. She was on death row for 10 years. She died of lethal injection. I was going to say, too, that the monster movie was basically bullshit, and it's kind of like this fucking pissant romance story. They got 2 of the hottest bitches in Hollywood at the time to play them. Charlize Theron, who's a fucking smoking fox, and you got Christina Ricci, my first crush ever, playing her girlfriend, and those two women did not look like that. Like Charlize Theron is crazy hot, and they uglied her up, and she looked a lot like Eileen Warren.
Dude,
she
she
was
pulled
good,
it
even
off.
her mannerisms, her voice.
She pulled it
everything.
off. She pulled it off.
She
definitely.
did.
So let me redact a statement. So
All right.
I found him. Leo Arthur Pittman was a biological father, and he died in Lansing, Leavenworth County, Kansas,
Okay.
at a state penitentiary. But when I
All
looked
right.
it up, when I did my vlog, it just said that he had died in Kansas in Leavenworth. So I just put the two together. I was like, okay. So it was a state penitentiary in Lansing, Kansas, which is Leavenworth.
Okay.
Yeah. So it is Leavenworth, but it's not the military base Leavenworth. So there, I'm glad I looked that up. And his name's Leo Arthur.
No, me
Pittman.
too, because that was confusing there for a minute.
Yeah, I was
we were
like,
both like, wait a
what?
minute.
Yeah, that just didn't make any sense. But now I clarified that up.
So we'll probably want to end this in the next 9 minutes or so, right?
Yeah. I mean,
so
yeah,
Eileen Warren was adopted by a Christian lady, and I kind of think this Christian bitch was just trying to be a part of the story. Like, even on 60 Minutes, the Australia version, they were like, this woman's been known to adopt animals. And it's like, so now you're comparing Eileen Warnos to a fucking animal? You know what I mean? Do you have the segment that I showed you of her last interview?
yeah. Yeah.
I would love to hit that. So, not
Let's
right
play
now, the second, but I do want to say that, like, I think that Homeboy had a really good point. They ripped her off. They tore her apart. And they're coming at her with movie deals and book deals. And like, we haven't had a serial killer. Serial killers were in the 60s, 70s, 80s, right? This bitch got busted in like 91. And it was a woman. So, oh, fuck, we got to make it a big deal. You know? And I think she got shit on. And she's guilty of murder, regardless.
Right.
Hands fucking down. Don't blame us. 10 out of 10 is going to go out there and say that Eileen Warnos is a murderer.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Do we agree?
I agree 100%.
All right.
Like, you know, it's society, you know, did play off of her. Society did make money off of her. Society
Absolutely.
did make a example out of her. What
Right.
EA Hora said earlier that you know, there was a lot of people that's done a lot worse and get a lot less, you know.
That was one of her statements in her 60 Minutes interview. She said, the judge told me that I was the biggest monster he's ever seen, or I committed the worst crimes in the world. And she's like, all I did was shoot them and leave them. She's like, I didn't cut their dicks off and stick them in their mouths.
Yeah.
I didn't rape their kids. I didn't cut off their heads. All I did was shoot them and leave them there.
And
but I'm the biggest fucking monster in the world.
Yeah. And she said, I did a pretty bad job covering it up. So it's not like, you know.
Okay,
I think each John she went in as hooking, but again, I think that's where she blacked out, ends up killing for more, you know.
Here's
more
another
of what
thing, though.
she wanted, and she ended up killing him.
No, I totally right. We're right fucking there, and I totally agree with you. But she did say in one of her first interviews with 60 Minutes when she's like, I'm pretty sure it was like her first interview, and it was 60 Minutes Australia, and she's like, I left a shitty job, right? Like a fucking dirty scene.
Yeah.
But her last interview, she's like, I left fingerprints everywhere, and I did it on purpose. And she's basically saying that the cops knew about her the whole fucking time, and that they let her commit these murders to basically make her a poster child to have a new serial killer, because that's what the media needed. Yeah. And then she goes in saying that they had sonic waves in her fucking cell, and that her fucking mirror was a computer sending sonic vibrations to make her sick. She's like, every day I got my food, I washed it. The one day I didn't wash it, I got sick for 6 months and almost died. Yeah. Like, she's fucking nuts. But me, myself, I do suffer from like mental health, probably not like she does, you know, especially her PTSD from the things that happened to her as a child.
Mhm.
But in one point in her last interview, the day before she gets murdered or executed, I should say, she says they had my pills all fucked up. Like she mentioned her medicine. And it's like her last words probably weren't really what she truly thought, dude. She was probably so out of her fucking mind. On death row, man, there's no sunlight, there's no fucking interaction with anybody. Shit food, you know what I'm saying? When she
Yeah.
got arrested, she was kind of big. And then, like, her last interview, she's skinny as fuck. But, like, the pill thing, I remember that. She mentioned the fuck out of that. She's like, they got my pills all fucked up. I was like, man, like, that kind of hit home a little bit. But
Yeah. No,
I'm not saying that, like, you know, I don't know. But, like,
Yeah.
so let me do my last fucking thing here. What do you want to do first? You want to do her last interview, or do you want me to give my last little facts here? I kind of think you should do the last interview.
Okay. Real quick before
Let
I
me
play
see.
it. Real quick before I play it, I talked to the guy that owned the bar when I was
Yeah,
down
that's
there.
what I brought up first. I want to hear
Yeah.
about this a lot.
He said
Elaborate.
that. So I talked to him, and he was genuinely like. He said that she was like one of us. That's what he said. He said she was like one of us, just trying to make it. You know, he was like, what she did was murder, plain and simple. She did wrong. But every day, day to day, it's not like she was fiending to go kill people. It wasn't like I have to kill people. He said that she was just one of us trying to make it, and she was genuinely a nice person. He was like, and he said it. She was my best friend. He even mentioned I tried to steer her on the right path. I tried to protect her from certain things she was doing, but she was a grown ass woman. She didn't make mistakes. She made bad decisions. You know what I mean? Uh, so he was genuine. He was like, look, I loved her to death. I tried
They
everything I could to help her.
they portrayed that character in the movie Monster too, when Kane Hodder and the other guy shot. It was like Diamond Dallas Page, the wrestler.
Yeah.
When the two bounty hunters showed up to get her, the bartender was like, "Don't go outside and smoke a cigarette with that guy. You know, come here, talk to me. Come here, hang out with me."
Yeah. Yeah,
And
he was
I don't know.
genuine. He was like, he lost a best friend. What she did was wrong, but he did what he could. He offered her a place to stay. If she didn't have money, she would stay there at the bar.
Right.
She knew everybody that was in and out. She wasn't like this monster that was just going around killing people.
Yeah, she wasn't Richard Ramirez or
Yeah,
Gainesville Ripper breaking into people's houses.
I feel like she took advantage, and you know how a dog bites something and gets the taste for blood? You ever heard that saying?
I've
Like
heard it.
a dog gets the taste of blood, he's never the same. I
Yeah.
think she felt something when she killed that first one, and even though I feel like it was kind of like a self-defense on the first John, but after that it was just a fucking
Yeah.
adrenaline and money and just trying to get by. It was a quick buck. Uh, he back to what he was saying. He lost a friend, and he had stuff that was signed by her, pictures, bras, panties, clothes. Like he showed
Like
me,
for
like
sale?
no,
Was this his?
he had all this shit.
You got some dope ass shirts. Let me see them. Can I contact this guy and get those shirts? Because I want a fucking shirt.
I'll give you this one. It's not a fucking. It's a large though. You want this shirt?
No,
Well, fuck you then.
I want an XL.
Let me see what I can do. I got this right here too.
I bet I can hit up the bar. They probably got a Facebook page or something. Be like, yo, let me rub that.
Tell me he's not really making money off of her.
You got hot sauce too?
Yeah, dude, I got butt rub too.
Are you for serious?
Yeah, it says Crazed Killer Hot Sauce, and it gives the execution October 9th, 2002. And then on the back, it says warning.
So you dropped some dough that day. So you were like, hey, I'm a fucking YouTuber. let me record. But
Well,
like
no,
you
I-
weren't like that.
I
You came
dropped.
correct and you spent some money.
Yeah, dude. Like he let me walk around his compound inside the bar, and I mean, why not? I was, fuck it, I'll support you.
I would have.
Uh,
I don't know if I got the butt rub thing, but I definitely would have got 2 bottles of hot sauce, one to eat and one to keep,
yeah. Well, I
and
got
some
the
shirts for show.
I probably won't ever open these. It's
Did he
just
have
basic.
stuff on display, like her underwear and autographs? Was
No,
that on
he
display?
said that he said he took down, because in the back of the bar there was like bras hanging down, and he said that he used to have a few of hers hanging up, but he took them down because of all the attention. He didn't want like some fucking drunk or me going in there
Yeah,
and
he
taking them.
he took them down because he knew there were some luce, and if he ever
Oh, yeah,
gets
you could get
broken, he's
money
got
for
to
that
sell them. He
shit.
can.
No doubt. Some of the autographs or the signed shit he had of hers from like letters from prison. Like he had a fucking stack of like letters, signed, written. I was like, bro, you could. I know you want to make money. You can make some money off of that shit. Like,
Dude,
damn,
I'm talking like 4 figures for a full
Easy.
page.
dude.
And then
these
if you're like, if
letters-
you fucking cut them up, like you've seen what these murderabilia people do. They take just the envelope and cut out the signature and the address of from and to, and then make a swatch out of it.
yeah,
Boom, and then they could fucking sell that for fucking $100 or something.
dude, like the bras, man. Like,
I would love to have an Eileen Warren bra. I'm not gonna lie.
I want one of the.
I got
the
fucking
prison
Charles
letters.
Manson hair. You think I'm fucking too cool to not have a fucking
Dude, I used to
Eileen
have his
Warren
ashes.
bra?
I used to have Charles Manson's ashes. In
I
his
know
fucking
you
closet.
dipshit, and you sold them. You won them for what? Like
$20.
you're so dumb. But you sold them for how much?
What'd I get out of it? Like 6, I think, 4 or 5.
Like $600.
Yeah, something like that.
Dude, I wouldn't. Man, that's absurd.
Fuck it, dude. Who cares?
Because it was his ashes mixed in with ink, right? For fucking artwork
So
or
it
something.
was a blood painting, and then at the very bottom, it was like a dub of ash.
Was it by that Ryan guy with the fucking horns in his head?
Yeah, Ryan something.
Starts with a G, I think.
Almighty, Ryan Almighty.
He claims he's like the
Almighty?
first guy to do the blood work and shit, and
I don't know. I think that guy's kind of whack, but whatever.
he's definitely a little out there.
He's out there, but
His tattoos are good though. He does good tattoos.
he bought a cadaver leg, and he was dipping it in ink and like putting them on canvases and selling them. That's fucking genius.
I mean, do
I'm
what
gonna
you
put
got to
my
do. And like
mushroom-
Nico Clow, man, Nico Clow is a fucking. He seems like a super rad dude.
So
But
if I was,
he's.
if I was
Huh?
to take my mushroom and put it on canvases, you think people would buy it?
I wouldn't.
Oh, fuck you.
We're not that famous yet. You got to kill somebody first, dummy.
Yeah, but it's my mushroom though.
That was going to be my next question. When are you going to start killing people so I
So I
don't
can
have
get you
to? That way I
rich?
can make money off of your bullshit
Yeah.
and your bras.
Yeah,
Kill somebody, send me your bra, and then I'm going to make $100.
That is perfect. That's the smartest thing. That's the best comment, better than that fucking Scream movie that you're like.
The greatest movie of all time. Wrong arm. I get confused about how many arms I have. Where's it at? There it is.
What
There
is
it's
that?
not.
It's kind of smudgy. I can't make that out.
Oh, fuck you. I got an
what is-
award for this.
What is that? The Shining? Was it?
See, now you're just starting to hurt my feelings.
All right, I'm gonna play this clip. Hopefully, people see how crazy. If you don't know who this is, like, I don't idolize her, but I feel kind of bad for society doing what they did.
Me too. I feel bad for the situation she was in. And like, who else I feel bad for? The people who got killed.
Of course.
And the
families.
grandkids and
Yeah.
the moms and the sisters and brothers. Like, it's all everybody got fucked,
Oh yeah.
It's not cool, but I definitely want you to play this last interview. It's
Yeah.
like 7 minutes long. Let's let the whole thing ride. But pay attention to the officer on it's her right shoulder. So from us seeing it, it'll be on the left side
Yeah.
of the screen. But watch this guy's face, Because you know there's two officers. Eileen's right here, two guys, and the one guy's just looking at his homeboy like, this fucking bitch. This bitch is what? Did you hear what this bitch just said?
He's like,
and like when he tries not to laugh, he starts vigorously chewing on his gum. But she gets fucking. She says some crazy things, you know.
Well, she's off her fucking meds, bro. She's a day away from dying. Come on, I'd say,
dude, exactly the next day at like 9:47 a.m. she was murdered.
Dead.
Yeah, right here, 9:47 a.m. the next day she got killed. And after this clip, I'll go real briefly into her last words, her last meal, and things like that, and then we'll fucking end it. But let's watch the 7-minute clip, and feel free to pause it and chime in whenever you want.
Yeah. All right, here we go.
You know, I was just wondering how you're going to be, you know, at 9:30 tomorrow morning. Are you prepared?
I'm prepared. I'm all right. I'm all right with it.
And how?
I'm all right with it, but like I said, remember, let them know that I know that the cops knew who I was. After Richard Mallory died, I left prints everywhere, and they covered it up. And let me kill the rest of those guys to turn me into a serial killer. I know they did, because I was no professional serial killer or anything, or murderer, or whatever you want to call it, you know. I wasn't professional at what I was doing.
Eileen,
I did some sloppy work, you know, and I left
how
prints.
have you prepared yourself for tomorrow morning?
I'm all right with it. Yeah, I'm ready to go. Hey, I was tortured at BCI. They had the intercom on in the room, and they kept lying that it wasn't on, and they were using sonic pressure on my head since 1997.
Sonic pressure.
And every time I was trying to write something, I think they had some kind of eye in the cell, I'm not sure, but every time I started writing something, it went up higher. So I'm thinking that probably had the TV rigged. The TV or the mirror, something was rigged. They got a huge satellite on the compound. After they put the huge satellite on the compound, it could have been either rigged to the TV set or the mirror or something, because the electrician, when he put the mirror on the wall, he said, doesn't that look like a computer? The back of it, and he stuck it to the wall.
And do you think, did that affect your mind, do you think?
Huh?
Did that affect your mind in some way, the sonic?
It was crushing my head, and they were using sonic pressure continually. Then when I had 3 meetings with Miss Villacorta on it, every meeting I had, she increased the pressure of the volume of the comm, increased the harassment on the floor, increased the trays being inedible, just increased every bit of my complaints, and trashed all grievances. They're trying to make it look like I was crazy at all times, rig up the room with torture. If I said anything about I think their whole plan was to try to make it look like I was totally crazy, and so nobody would believe anything I had to say about anything, and then drive me there if they could. I suffered so bad. I was really struggling to survive. Had a lot of trays that were attempted murder and everything. I had to wash all my food off. And then one day I didn't wash my food off, and I was sick for 3 weeks, almost died.
But you're okay now.
I'm okay. I'm okay. God is going to be there. Jesus Christ is going to be there. All the
Starts
angels,
getting mad now.
Everything.
Yeah.
And you know, whatever's on the beyond, I think it's going to be more like Star Trek, beaming me up into a space vehicle, man. Then I move on, recolonize to another planet or whatever. But
Heaven's Gate.
Whatever's the beyond, I know it's going to be good, because I didn't do anything as wrong as they said. I did the right thing, and I saved a lot of people's butts from getting hurt and raped and killed too.
So are you saying that you killed in self-defense or in cold blood? What do you, because you've changed your story. I'm just trying to
What are you talking about? Change story on what?
No, about whether it was self-defense or not.
I'm not going to say it, I'm not going to get in depth about my cases, Nick. I'm on my way to the chamber, nothing stopping it. You can believe it or you don't have to believe it. That's up to you, man. Put a big question mark on your film.
What more is there to say about the cops? What more do you want to say about the cops?
A lot of stuff. Did you know that they were surveilling me before I killed? And then I knew it? And that was covered up. Did you know there was helicopters dropping down from the sky, deputy sheriff, with decoys picking me up 4 or 5 months before my arrest? It was covered up.
But nonetheless,
Nobody ever asked me these questions.
Whether the cops were following you or not, Eileen.
Oh, whether the cops were following me or not, Eileen,
okay,
what?
let's say the cops were following you.
Yeah.
Let's say they were following you and they did everything that you're saying they did. Nonetheless, you killed 7 men.
Yeah, sure
And I'm
did.
asking you, what got you to kill the 7 men?
And I'm telling you because the cops let me keep killing them, Nick. Don't you get it?
Not everybody is killing 7 people. So there must have been something in you that was getting you to do that.
Oh, you are lost, Nick.
So
I was a
explain-
hitchhiking hooker.
Right.
Running into trouble. I'd shoot the guy if I ran into trouble. Physical trouble. The cops knew it. When the physical trouble came along, let her clean the streets. And then we'll pull her in.
But how
That's
come
why.
there was so much physical trouble in because it was all in 1 year? 7 people in 1 year.
Oh, well. Oh, well.
But why not say now?
Because I'm out of retaliation for taking my life like this and getting rich off it all these years in total pathological lying. Yeah, thanks a lot. I lost my fucking life because of it. Couldn't even get a fair trial. Couldn't even get a fair investigation or nothing. Couldn't even have my appeals right. You sabotaged my ass, society, and the cops, and the system. A raped woman got executed and was used for books and movies and shit. Ladder climbs, re-election, everything else. I got a big finger in all your faces. Thanks a lot. You're an inhumane bunch of fucking living bastards and bitches, and you're gonna get your asses nuked in the end. And pretty soon it's coming. 2019, a rock's supposed to hit you anyhow. You're all gonna get nuked.
Heaven's Gate.
You don't take fucking human life like this and just sabotage and rip it apart like Jesus on the cross and say thanks a lot for all the fucking money I made off of you. And not care about a human being and the truth being told. Now I know what Jesus was going through. They've been trying to tell the truth, and I keep getting it stepped on. Concerned about if I was raped, I'm not giving you book and movie info. I'm giving you info for investigations and stuff, and that's it.
Can you pause it?
Yeah.
She keeps bringing up books and movie info. She's like, I'm not giving you all that. And I think a lot of her story is bullshit, man. I think that she's saying she told a good story for the books and movie deal. And if from what I've heard, I forgot who it was, but there was a woman, it might have even been her or someone she knew that was in the grocery store, and a woman approached her and was like, I know who you are. I know you're wanted. Here's the card. Contact this person for a movie deal when you get busted. And I don't know how fucking true that is, but I've definitely read it more than once. And that's how the Monster movie deal came out. And she was telling the story of these things that happen. And it's just weird that at first she's like, I killed all these people. And then when her girlfriend testified against her, she's like, oh no, it was self-defense.
Yeah.
Now she's pissed off about the books and movie deals. She's like, it doesn't matter what I fucking say anyway. Like, none of you guys fucking care, you know? And
yeah,
it's just her story definitely has changed several times.
The guy in the bar, I did ask him. He said that the movie did not depict her. He said it was not 100% accurate.
I think that movie is basically like 90% bullshit.
Yeah.
It's a great movie. Like, I love that movie straight up, but you have to watch it.
You gotta go
outside looking in.
Yeah, you gotta come in at a different angle than opposed to this is just some movie. You gotta think of Eileen like,
this is Hollywood's portrayal.
Yeah, like this is what the movie said, but we all know this is not,
I think that whole sexy lesbian romance bullshit, and it was all overdone. And another thing I want to tell you and everybody else listening is there's a movie it just came out called The Boogie Woman. And it's about Eileen Warren, but who plays her is Peyton List, the really cute girl from Cobra Kai.
Yeah.
And sorry, I was reading the comments, but Peyton List is the really pretty blonde girl from Cobra Kai, and she's been in like Disney Channel stuff. But that movie is a really good movie, but it is also 100% bullshit because it's just the director's portrayal. Like, he tells his own story of what he thinks happened and what he wished happened and things like that. But as far as entertainment goes, Monster's a good movie, and The Boogie Woman is a good movie, but they're both bullshit.
Yeah. Ryan. This is Ryan's comment.
I don't get how she wants to justify and say, well, they're taking her life. Go ahead and you say it. Read it, because you can read better than me.
Her life. Well, no shit. You took 7. She acts like they shouldn't have take hers. Maybe I'm misunderstanding it, but wow. No, I agree, to a certain extent, as far as like she did kill the 7 people. I get it. But I think with her mental her mental issues that she had, on top of everything, how everybody was coming at her with some of the wild shit she was saying, like they put this in the walls and this and
the
here.
mirror was a computer that was sending
I
sonic waves.
think that was a lot of this, and
like, I don't think Elon Musk could do that. You know,
and on top of that, I think her being off her meds,
absolutely.
She was by far,
and death row was a motherfucker.
Yeah, I mean, that's enough to bear, on anybody that was sane,
Right. And another thing too, like, I hate to keep going back to music and stuff, but think about like when you meet like actors or singers who are so arrogant assholes, and it's like, if you're told every single time that you meet somebody that you're the shit or you're amazing, that's gonna make an effect on you, and it's gonna change the way that you behave when you meet people. And like her, the only time she meets people is she's getting asked the same fucking questions. She's the most notorious female serial killer of all time. It makes me wonder if she's trying to play a character. Like,
yeah.
And she don't even know who she is or who she wants to be. Does any of that make sense? Like, every time the camera turns on, she says something different for whatever mood she's in, because she's fucking bipolar,
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No, I agree. She's definitely living in her own little world. Reality. Her reality is not like our reality.
Right.
Society used and abused her, no doubt. But at the same time, at the end of the day, she's a killer. She killed 7 people.
For sure. I'm not saying she should be free.
Yeah. I don't think she should have got the death penalty. And it was in Florida. Florida don't fuck around back in the day, and Florida still don't fuck around with that death penalty. So had this happened like in the upstates, like fucking Ohio or somewhere up there, she probably
Illinois here, she got life.
Yeah, I mean, she probably could have done this in Rockford and be like, oh, 6-month probation, something.
You can
like
kill
that.
a cop in Rockford, and fucking Rockford's fucked. But
you mean
no, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, it's bad. It's bad up here in Illinois, dog. Like, Chicago. Like, let me tell you how bad it is, real quick. Never mind, we don't got to get there. But statistically speaking, per capita, murder per capita, Rockford is the worst city in the world, in the country. I mean,
yeah,
because Chicago has more people than Rockford does, but more people get killed on the daily in Rockford, if that makes sense. Like, it's fucking wild. And then we got Gary, Indiana, that's like fucking a throne's throw away from Chicago. But lucky me, I live in Cherry Valley in the campground, But
yeah,
Eileen Warren was talking about the fucking execution thing. She had the opportunity to plead guilty and get a plea bargain and do life in prison. And when she got adopted by this woman, I didn't write down her name because I didn't think it was important, because I kind of thought she was a douchebag. This Christian lady adopted her as her daughter and was like, you should get life in prison because you can keep going on TV shows and make movies and you can spread the word of Christ. And Eileen was like, dude, fuck that. Like, No, absolutely not. I'm a grown woman and I'm going to make my own decisions of what I do with my life. And so she ended up pleading guilty and then fucking getting executed. But I don't think she deserved to get killed. I think she should have just fucking sat in jail for life, you know.
Yeah,
But
and just rot.
another thing too, bro, is like dying. Like you and I don't know what happens when we die.
No.
And like to me, that's kind of the scariest part about it. Like I'd probably rather live my life out in prison if I had protection and wasn't in Gen Pop and have to deal with gangs and shit. But like to have to know like on this day you're gonna die, that would be terrifying.
Oh,
Because you're
yeah.
counting down the days and none of us knows whether you're religious or not. Nobody knows what the fuck happens when we die. Point blank.
Yeah.
And I don't think she deserved that. I don't think she deserved to be free, but they should just let her fucking be in prison. And another reason why I wish she lived out her life in prison is so we can have more of these interviews to see if she would be 80 someday and be like, all right, look, I don't care anymore. Let me tell you what really fucking happened.
The Manson interviews, you know, we watched Manson, you know, just like go from up here from the hype to like straight to like this guy was fucking loony at the towards the end of some of his interviews, you know. So we could have got the opportunity to hear more of her story. Like I feel like there was more to it than what she was trying to portray. Let's make her tell her story on her meds. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
if
right.
she was on her meds, she'd be like, I fucking killed these motherfuckers. I did it. Nobody was holding cameras in my cell. You know, all that shit. I was just fucked up.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, who's to say as she gotten older, mature, and you know, tell us what really happened.
And
why did
finally
you really
realizing you
kill
got
him?
nothing to lose. Like this girl knows she's gonna die in 6 hours.
She was telling people all kinds of shit, I think, towards the end, just to
wait till you hear her last words.
Yeah, here, let's play it.
Well, I mean, you know, we'll get to that after the fact, but
I'll play this and then
all
I
right.
like watching this shit on YouTube.
It is, yeah.
I'll
it's
fall asleep,
interesting.
especially the Manson interviews. It's pretty cool. I'm not saying he's cool.
We're
but
gonna do a whole episode on him, and that's
Oh,
probably
no,
gonna be
yeah.
a really long one. And if you want, like you stated earlier, how you know at first his interviews were fucking buck wild, but at
Yeah.
the end, when he knew he was gonna die, he started telling the truth about Vincent Bugliosi and how it was all bullshit and it was all Tex Watson's fucking idea.
Yep.
You gotta fucking read Manson in his own
Well,
words.
the
and,
guy never killed anybody. That's a whole nother story. You know, that could be another one we do. We'll just
yeah.
dedicate it all to him. But that's another one that I feel like society railroad his ass to. That's just me. You know,
100%. I think Charles
I got-
Manson is a folk hero, and he did not deserve to be in prison.
Yeah, I don't.
The
I don't think
motherfucker
he-
like pussy and acid, and the people he were hanging out with were killing people, and I don't think he fucking did any of that shit. He definitely chopped off Gary Hinman's ear, and he might have had some shit to do with Shorty Sheehan's fucking disposal of the body. But that's all I'm going to get
That's a
into on
whole
this
nother
episode.
one. Yeah.
We're going to
All
have
right,
to
let
cut
this
this
ride.
interview, Nick. I'm not going to go into any more detail. I'm leaving. I'm glad. Thanks a lot, society, for railroading my ass. Okay, let's go.
Look at that. Just all right. Let's go.
It was really pretty incredible that Eileen had just sailed through the psychiatric test.
Nick
the day
Bloomfield's a
before.
douchebag, though, the guy interviewing her.
It makes you wonder what you'll
He's a
have
total
to do to
cunt.
fail.
Yeah.
He's biased as fuck. Nick Bloomfield, he did a documentary called Kurt and Courtney. It's all about Kurt Cobain and Courtney Love. He did a documentary called Biggie and Tupac. That's about Eminem and Dr. Dre. Kidding.
It sounds like balls hitting ass.
Totally. Dude, I taught my daughter the one-hand clap today. I can clap with one hand.
Fucking weird.
So anyway. All right, so I was wondering if you I was wondering if you want to end this. I'm going to do the last words, last meal, things like that. But I was wondering when we were done with that, there's 2 songs. Now, I watched the 60 Minutes Australia version of Eileen Warren's, and the lady was in the Last Resort bar. And she walked into the jukebox, she put a quarter in, and she's like, this is the same exact jukebox Eileen Warren would play her favorite song on. She hit play and walked away. And the song playing was called Digging Up Bones. But I know that her favorite song was Carnival by Natalie Merchant, and she wanted that song played at her funeral. But what's weird is like that song came out in like 1995, and I'm pretty sure she got busted in like 1991. So I'm like, how did she hear that fucking song, and why was that song her favorite?
I mean, maybe she heard it in prison. They allow music and stuff.
For sure, and like Damien Eccles, like one of the West Memphis Three. We're definitely gonna do an episode about them too. But like Damien Eccles said that he would watch Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 all the time on death row, and I'm like, how the fuck did you get to watch that movie all the time? But
yeah, it's weird.
So I don't know for a fact if Digging Up Bones is her favorite song, but that's just what the interview bitch from 60 Minutes said.
Is that
Randy Travis? Do know that, huh?
Isn't that by Randy Travis?
Is it?
So.
That really big jawed, ugly motherfucker?
Yeah, he had a stroke. Like, he's in bad shape.
Oh, well, fuck me.
Yeah.
Well,
you're an asshole.
I knew he had a big, ugly jaw before I knew he had a stroke, so fuck you. Is Digging Up Bones the fucking... Look it up.
All right.
And then, if you want, we can end the song just in memory of Eileen Warnos. Let's play the song Carnival by Natalie Merchant. And that's the song that she requested to be played at her funeral in 1995. But I don't know if she had a fucking funeral, to be honest with you.
Her ashes, the guy that owns the bar said a couple of her lesbian friends, a group that she knew or something, took the ashes and spread it across. There's a tree out back of the bar, gave a little bit of ashes behind that tree, and then it was spread throughout the whole wherever else. But he said that she was sprinkled a little bit outside a tree.
Maybe a little bit.
Back.
As far as I know, Dawn Botkins owns all of her shit.
Yeah.
Dawn Botkins got her ashes and has a walnut tree in her backyard where she spread the ashes.
Yeah. No, I agree.
He might have got a piece. When my sister died,
I
I got a little piece, and everyone else got a little piece.
I don't think it was like the whole ash. I just know he said that some of her ashes was sprinkled.
He probably got a chunk. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, him being close like that, he had a lot of stuff of hers. Yeah, it's by Randy Travis, Digging Up Bones.
She was on fucking death row for 10 goddamn years. I'm sure he got some shit from her.
Dude,
and probably some letters being like, hey, let fucking homeboy from Last Resort get a chunk of my ashes. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm sure it was in the letter, like, hey, can you know how they talk. He didn't share, he didn't share the detail of the letters, but man, he had a stack of them.
That's cool.
Sitting on that money. And I know that's kind of gross to say, profiting off of somebody that did such a tragic event, but that's what people do in this world, man. We make, when I say we make money off of fucking everything.
Right.
That's what we do. We eat each other in this society, period.
Right.
It's just the way we are.
I'm waiting for something like that to happen to me.
Yeah.
Like some fucking homeboy I know. I'd be like, that guy is a piece of shit, but before he did that, he was cool as fuck. And I got a whole bunch of selfies with him. I don't know.
So I need
Call
to
me
sell
sick,
you.
but
I need to do a bunch of mushroom stamp canvases for you so you can sell them when I'm dead.
Before you fucking go ape shit.
Yeah. Before I lose it.
Right.
If anybody wants to buy one, just leave a comment below.
We got the Patreon set up yet or no?
No.
I think we got to have so many subscribers before we can set up Patreon, right?
No, I don't think so. The Patreon is
donate money to us. Fuck a Patreon.
All the people that's watching, the Patreon is going to be for like shirts, stickers, mushroom stamp canvases, you know,
Yeah,
when we
it's all
did,
gonna
when
go
we,
back to you
yeah,
guys.
when
I'm
we
not
did
gonna
this,
spend
it's
it on
not,
fucking
yeah,
autographs or nothing.
yeah, I don't need, like, when I say I don't need money, I don't need money. This is for fun. And for me to
Right.
like make shirts, stickers, and all this other shit, I'll even print some shit for the people who want to fucking start donating. It's more or less just to give back. I would love for someone to rock a shirt with like "Don't blame us." You know what I mean? That'd be fucking
100%.
shit. Like it's basically us you're paying for the promotion for us to put all our shit and give it to you.
Right. And this is how
You
we
know?
get other guests on, like
Yeah,
we can get horror
yeah.
movie actors
Yeah,
or
there's a few.
people
There's
who are true crime people we can get on.
there's a few that I've contacted that don't want to do this for free. It's like $100 an
Right.
hour. So I'm like, fuck.
Right.
You know, and that's why I think starting it, and whoever wants to donate, whatever. Who don't donate, I'll pay out of fucking pocket. But you know,
Eventually
it
it's
is
gonna
what it
happen.
is.
You or I are gonna have to pay out of pocket for t-shirts
Yeah.
and just charging these
I know.
bastards.
I know. But it is what it
So
is. I'm not
no, I
forcing
know,
people
I'm
to do
totally
it.
kidding. I like at the end of the day, if nobody was watching, which I'm sure there aren't anybody watching,
7
I
people.
would still sit here for 2.5 hours and talk to you about serial killers.
Oh yeah.
Regardless.
I would go another 2 hours, but I know we're trying to stay. We're already at 2 hours and 30 minutes, and I don't fucking
Right.
care. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, we got a good audience. We got fucking 7 people, so I don't
So
give a shit.
let's end it with Eileen Warnos's last words, and then we're gonna play a little game. I want you to guess her last meal. And then do you mind playing the song Carnival by Natalie Merchant?
Yeah, I'll play it.
And then we'll fucking piece the fuck out. Right? Like you can do that to where when the song is done, we'll just fucking bail.
Yeah, I can turn it off whenever.
All right. So Eileen Warnos's last words were, I would just like to say I'm sailing with a rock, and I'll be back, like Independence Day, with Jesus. Big mothership and all. I'll be back. I'll be back. That was her last words. She died at 9:47 a.m. With the whole I'll be back thing, it's like, are you sure you were talking about Independence Day or were you talking about Terminator? I'm confused.
I get a Heaven's Gate vibe from her.
For sure, dude.
I think, because she mentions, we're all going to be a big rock going to kill you anyway. We're all going to come to a mothership.
2019.
We're going to go on a mothership and fucking exercise this world.
But when was Heaven's Gate? Was way before 2019, though.
Yeah, it was like 2007.
I thought it was like
No,
90.
it was 1997. Wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was like 90s.
It's like 97.
Yeah, March 26, 1997. Discovered the
Boom, baby.
bodies of 39 active members. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think she's probably going off like some fucking Nostradamus bullshit or something she saw in the news. But the whole big mothership and all thing from Independence Day, that's like in my top fucking 20 fucking favorite movies of all time. I love Independence Day. It's not as good as Scream, but it's definitely better than The Shining. So fucking, what do you say? Let's get out of here. Let's fucking jam off this fucking.
Meal? What was the last meal?
Oh no, yeah. God damn it. Thank you. You got to guess. What do you? Because you half-ass guessed the Gainesville Ripper's last meal because you said seafood. You said shrimp, and it was lobster tail. What do you think Eileen Warnos is? She's a Florida girl, but don't get it fucked up. She's from the Midwest beforehand. What do you think her last meal was?
I'm going to guess piece by piece. I'm going to say some coffee.
That's it. You're done. A cup of coffee was her last meal. That's all she requested.
Yeah, that's a straight up G. I bet you
straight up. That's what happened. Did you know this, or are you fucking with me? I should have let you ride and let you name 6 or 7 other things.
I knew because I've read it.
See, you shouldn't have said that. You should have been like, I just guessed it, man. I'm a Florida boy who hangs
Oh,
out
get
with a
out of here.
Midwest guy.
Well, you gotta. I mean, I did the fucking research,
No, I know.
months ago.
Right.
I
I
would have had I not have read it. What I would have guessed, I would have said mac and cheese, maybe a steak.
I also like meatloaf or some shit.
Yeah,
And
and
like
maybe some
meatloaf, mashed
some chicken
potatoes, and
fingers.
corn on the cob. That's
It's
what
probably-
she'd want.
I'd probably say some bar food.
There you go. Yeah. Some
probably
motherfucking onion rings
too.
and shit. God damn it.
Give me some of them beer nuts and some a side of beer.
Right.
I don't know.
No, that was fucking genius. You're like, cup of coffee, and that's it. I win.
Yeah.
You
I
won
win.
serial killer fucking last meal trivia. So far, you're 2 for 2, bro.
I know. I'm just that good, man. Told
Should
you I
we
was gonna
play
be
the song,
famous
or
one
should we
day.
just tell everybody to fucking go to sleep?
Nah,
Because it's
let's-
1:30 in the morning.
Let's play the song. Let's play a little bit of it.
All right. The song sucks. I can't hear it.
You can't hear it?
No, you should play the music video. There you go. Now I can hear it.
You should rewrite this song and perform it.
I should cover the fuck out of it.
That's what you should do. Just cover people's last songs or their favorite songs.
It's not a bad idea.
I want to.
I want to read the lyrics.
It sounds like it's singing about like being down and shit.
It definitely could be.
It definitely suits her. You know what I mean?
Carnival, Natalie Merchant, right? Natalie Merchant. Lyrics. All right, so it says, oh, wow. Okay, right away. I get it. Well, I've walked these streets, a virtual stage, it seems to me. Makeup on their faces, actors took their places next to me. Well, I've walked these streets in a carnival of sights to see. All the cheap thrill seekers, vendors, and the dealers, they crowded around me. Have I been blind? Have I been lost inside myself and my own mind? Hypnotized, memorized by what my eyes have seen. Well, I've walked these streets in a spectacle of wealth and poverty. In the diamond markets, the scarlet welcome carpet that they just rolled out for me. And I've walked these streets in the madhouse asylum they can be, where a wild-eyed misfit prophet on a traffic island stopped and he raved of saving me. Have I been blind? Have I been lost inside myself and my own mind? Hypnotized, memorized by what my eyes have seen. Have I been wrong? Have I been wise to shut my eyes and play along? Hypnotized, paralyzed by what my eyes have found, by what my eyes have seen, what they have seen. And then it goes on to say, have I been blind? Have I been lost? Have I been wrong? Have I been wise? Have I been strong? And it kind of repeats itself. That's definitely her.
That's
dude.
deep. Yeah, even EA said, damn, if that isn't suited for her, I don't know what is.
I get it. I totally
Yeah.
get it now.
Yeah,
I get why
that's
she.
deep, man.
What's fucking wild of this song? She got busted in nine. All right, she started at fucking 14, 15.
Yeah.
Started killing at 33. Got busted in 91. 4 years later, she hears this song on death row, and she's like, "That's probably why she thinks like this is my song." Like being on death row 4 years later, she's like, "Fuck it." Like this is my jam. This is me. I know I'm gonna peace out soon. Because she fucking, what was her execution date? 2002. So she got to sit on this song for like 5 or 6 years. Like,
Yeah.
I totally get it.
Yeah, it
Wow,
was
that's
definitely
fucking
suited to
wild.
her. That's crazy.
It makes me wonder. I don't know, like, 'cause you always get that bitch at the bar that's a white girl wasted. This song's about me and my girls. And it, like, was this song written about Eileen, or was
Drunken
she
thoughts
just,
or
huh?
drunken people's thoughts is the truth or some shit. What's that say?
I don't know, man.
Hey, what's that banner say? What is that?
What banner?
You see that?
Fucking with me with this goddamn thing on the bottom.
Yeah, dude. What is
See.
that, man?
The movie Scream was written
Oh.
by God herself and handed down from the mountains of Caucasus
Dude, the movie
to the
sucked.
Caucasians of Los Angeles, California in 1996.
Wow.
Did you know that it was nominated for 14 awards and won all 14? You bitch. Bam! That's the first and only and last time I'll ever call my best friend a bitch
You know what?
on the internet. But it's
You
true.
know what?
It had like 14 awards.
The fucking movie the Scream movie series is like fucking Fast and Furious.
No.
Yeah.
No. Absolutely not.
There's like fucking 10 of them.
There's only 4, fuckface, and the 5th one's coming out January 15th.
Oh, there's 5. Oh, I'm sorry, 5. 5. I was 5 off.
How dare you? You're 50% wrong.
Ugh.
What
Brent
did
says
homeboy
we
say
need to
though?
get-
What was the last comments? I missed them.
Brent said, "You guys need to get on Anchor. This is gonna go up on Anchor."
Brent said that?
Yeah.
We're on Anchor, motherfucker.
Yeah.
We're just
this will
live
be
right
on
now doing the YouTube thing, and then eventually, when this is done, probably by what? Tomorrow, the audio will be on Anchor,
Yeah,
Spotify,
I'll try to upload it.
iTunes,
Yeah,
all that
I'll
shit.
upload it.
Google Play, all that shit.
Jalick said, "Look at TCM, sir." Yeah, well,
Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
that movie, all those movies sucked except one. There, I said it.
I don't know. I liked a few of them.
1 and 2.
I don't know. All right, whatever.
Jalick. I should.
So,
ban
do you
her.
really hate Scream, or you just bust my balls?
Nah, I liked it. I like the first one. That's it.
All right.
That's it. I only like the first one. Only got good towards the end.
You're such a liar.
50-50.
First one is a fountain of visual gold from beginning to end. There is no fodder in between. It is pure angel tears and unicorn orgasms.
Look, if Courtney Love
For the horror, it resuscitated horror. You fuck.
If Courtney Love and Charles Manson produced and directed a scary movie, it would be Scream.
Courtney Love and Charles Manson produced horror. So you're saying it would be nothing less than murderous?
Well, it would make me want to kill myself.
Oh, fuck you! You know what? I'm out of here.
kidding.
You're lucky I got to pee.
I'm kidding.
No, I know. Just wait
Well-
till we do an episode on Scream. Oh, we're not gonna do that. I won't do that to you. You know what we are gonna do though? We're gonna do an episode on Halloween 3 eventually because you love it so much and I hate it and I've yet to watch it. So I will sit down just for this podcast and I will watch all of Halloween 3.
No, you won't.
I will. I'll do it just for you.
No.
But
You
I'm
got
gonna
all
watch
of
it in high def, which means I'm gonna be high as
High
fuck,
as fuck.
and I'm gonna be deaf with my fingers in my ears.
Fair
I'm
enough.
gonna fucking enjoy it.
Fair fucking enough. That's cool.
High def, baby. All right, let's get the fuck out of here. What do you think? I gotta piss and I want to smoke a goddamn cigarette.
Yeah. So all the people that has followed us up to this far, we've kept a solid 4 to 7. But we're not doing it for all the people to watch. You know, we appreciate the handful. If I can name you by name on how many people has watched this, then you're cool in my book. So
right.
Usually when I upload this into Anchor, it starts people sharing, it starts getting around, and then I get comments saying you're a fucking piece of shit. Why would you do this? Why'd you say that? And then I'm like, I don't give a fuck. You know?
Right.
It is what it is. Say what I say.
Regardless whether anybody watches
blame
or not,
us.
we're gonna do this anyway. So it's just so much cooler that people actually watch and pay attention, and that like really touches my heart a lot. And like that's just gonna make us do more episodes and make better content and be more prepared and things like that. And
yeah,
I
think-
appreciate every single person that watches. It's
I think
awesome.
for the second episode when we figuring out this program, I think it went pretty good with some of the shit I'm doing. So
Yeah, this is only our second episode, and our first one was over a month ago. Like,
yeah, it's all in timing, you know.
we got to be more consistent. Every Friday, we're gonna try to
every
drop
Friday.
content.
It's just one of those things where I need to get this shit ready for the next. Like, I need to be.
Well,
like,
your mom was sick. I was sick. I was in vacation.
yeah, there's a lot of
so
shit
it's
came
like,
up, but I'm sure people understand it.
for sure.
Yeah, but that's
So
it. That's
next
all I got.
Friday, what do you think we should talk about? Let's I don't know. What do you think? We'll figure it out between you and I. We got 6 days to figure it out. We just figured out basically a couple hours ago we were going to talk about tonight, and I think we did pretty good.
Just threw this together.
How about next Friday, Halloween 3?
All right, let's do it.
You think so?
We'll do Halloween 3, and we'll add in a couple other, like, a few other movies.
Terrifier. Let's do movies. No.
Terrifier. What is that?
That's a poem written by fucking William Coxbeer or something.
Oh. Jalik said Illinois serial killers, and that's how she said it. That's how she spelled it. Illinois.
It's Illinois, God damn it.
Yeah, Jalik.
We could do next week if you want to do. We can do Illinois. We pretty much only have John Wayne Gacy, but I do have a friend that was an ex-deputy coroner that you're aware of who swears that there's 9 active serial killers in Illinois, but they won't talk about it. But he told me that when he was a deputy coroner, he knew everybody, you know, and he swears that there's 9 active serial killers in Illinois. But what do I know?
I don't know. I'll do some research. We'll collaborate and whatever, and then
you and I will figure it out next Friday, though. Next Friday we'll go live. We're going to be more consistent because we're not sick anymore. We're not on vacation anymore. Your mama's healthy and you're back in town.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So at the end of the day, man, whether you agree or disagree,
don't
blame
us.
Welcome to the podcast that passes poor performance on pop culture. I'm your host, Darren Duncan, along with my best friend, Audie Marsh. We're not here to hurt your feelings. We're just here to entertain. And at the end of it all, whether you agree or disagree, don't blame us.